emoji.
It's a learn how to poo YouTube thing.
Oh, nice.
It's fucked. It's like tuck your penis in between your legs
Nice.
and do it. If you're a girl, wipe front to back.
Tuck the penis between the legs. That's the...
Educational.
People that make that content are 100% Pizzagate affiliated. I don't care. You can make whatever excuse under the sun you want, bro. You said that into a microphone, man, and then mixed it. Fuck you.
And that's our intro. We're here with Diogo from the 5'8 take. We go.
Yeah, wow.
We do conspiracy light.
Yeah.
As you'll find out, we go a few light conspiracies.
Yep.
But what do we start with, man? We had.
Yeah, we started off with our connection, Kingsley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, we delve into my band. So July 24th, when Channel 9 plastered me all over the news and said that I was the organizer of one of the biggest protests in Sydney ever. And then we went into the police raid that raided my house from their Channel 9. And then we went into me winning all my court cases and still have one left. Yep. I was facing 38 years for all of that, by the way.
Oh, wow. We didn't cover that until just now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Should we rephrase that? Channel 9 didn't raid your house. It was...
the asphyxiated counter-terrorism unit.
Yeah. So,
And I don't have a criminal record.
And then we touch on the abortion stuff.
Yeah, I did not articulate it well, but Jamal comes in with a good
Well done, Jamal.
Yeah.
What else did we talk about?
Gun laws.
Gun laws.
Yeah, heavy on the gun laws.
All the actually hot topics at the moment. So we literally are cancelled after this.
Yeah. Elon Musk.
Musk, yeah.
Daddy Elon, I call him.
You think he's good, and Jamal thinks he's an evil motherfucker.
Elon hates, and I elongate, baby. All right, let's get hard.
Let's get hard.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host,
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Brand.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
Awesome. Well, I think we have a good way to start this podcast. Delby. It's a very small world.
It is a tiny world, mate.
Yeah.
Very tiny world.
Do you want to tell Delby your close connection to Delby?
Surely the Summit Arlies.
Do you know a bloke? Oh, it could go sideways. It could just be like, no, I don't know.
Look, if it's a bloke, it's not sideways, it's from behind.
Yeah. Dylan Dickman.
Yeah, from Kingsley.
Kingsley. So that's my best mate.
Yeah, right.
So
Nice.
me and when I first moved to Australia, didn't know how to speak English.
Oh, yeah?
Moved to Kingsley,
Where were you from? Sydney?
Brazil. Sydney is a bit another country these days, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I moved to Kingsley
right.
and saw him. He came up and was like, "Can I ride your bike?" And then I was like, "Yeah,
Nice.
sure." And we changed bikes, and that was known him ever since, man.
Yeah, right.
Good quality bloke. So I was meant to go see him today, and then I said I was coming here, and he was like, "Hold on a minute, I know Daniel.
sick.
Hold on a second." And your brother too.
Hey, Chris.
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie, yeah.
Yeah. So, small world,
Yeah.
man.
Small world.
So you play for Kingsley, huh?
Used to, yeah. Won a flag and...
Played or just hobbled?
15s.
Yeah.
Was dominant. League, when we won our first flag. Dominant. And then the year after, cripple. For 10 years. 11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that club has grown a fair bit, like the grounds and that.
Yeah.
Probably after what happened, but yeah.
Yeah. It was it's a pretty special time, actually, after what happened. I didn't know many of the boys at all, but all the guys that I played with, and then I was in Phil Britton's comeback game, which was fucking insane. Seeing him after the game was just his scars, and his skin was melted and his feet were bleeding.
From the Bali bombings?
Yeah. It was insane. It was so, and he chopped.
Inspirational?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was fucking really good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, Kingsley Connect.
Close connections.
We're with Sydney's Joe Rogan here.
Yeah,
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Fucking getting banned.
And
you just need to teach me stand-up comedy, and then might be on that trajectory.
I think someone needs to teach Joe that as well.
I think someone needs to teach me stand up as well. But
Shots fired.
Nah, just joking, Joe. Just doing that for the clout. Just want to get on your podcast. Please have me.
for the listeners at home, this could. I don't know how this is going to go. Scotty has had to come in today for us. So
this is the second episode we've done with a child.
yeah, and it will not be the same as last. So I found most intriguing about your podcast, the 5-8 Take podcast. The first podcast to ever be legally shut down.
Yeah.
Which is incredible, and it's been resolved.
Yeah, so we it was due to July 24th, the major Sydney protest. Channel 9 plastered me all over the shop, and they sort of painted me as the organizer. And I did have a lot of people that organize these protests on. I just like talking to people, you know what I mean? So I'll have anyone on, and left, right, center, doesn't really matter to me. I just want interesting convos. So they plastered me all over the shop, and it got my studio raided. And in the courts, one of the things was that I couldn't podcast until it was the matter was resolved, which is insane to me. That is madness in Australia that they can block conversation like that. And all I am is talking to people, you know what I mean?
Well, that would be like us when me and Corey went down and did the Vox Pops. That would be like us being banned for doing that.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
So what was the Sydney protest for? Was it the vaccine mandates?
Nah, this one was the small business lockdowns.
Oh yeah,
which is
which they paint every one of those protests as
anti-vaccine. So this one was the small business ones, and I think that's why it was so big, because it was a lot of just mums, dads, anyone that owned a business.
Was it the largest protest in Sydney's history? Or
I would say so.
I don't even remember hearing about it.
I try to
legit.
Well, do you? I was going to say, do you remember the 10,000-15,000 people that we went marching with, and not one thing on the news at all in Perth?
Insane. How many people were in the city one?
So they say, the official numbers by the police was 3,500. Yeah. But it was like the George Street, the main street of Sydney, was filled from top to bottom. So people were like filming from their apartments and hotels, and it was just street filled with people all the way across. Yeah. It was like the Melbourne one. The Melbourne one was massive, and they tried to say there was really no one there. Yeah. It was quite. I'd say it's the biggest. I try to look back at other protests in Sydney, and I haven't found one that's quite as big as that.
And how did you organise that?
But even if you did, it's a fair thing to protest. You know, small business is being shut down.
Yeah,
I think it's a pretty fucking fair thing to protest.
Is the court case resolved? Are you allowed to comment on this before?
Yes. So what? So there's
that could be a leading question.
Yeah.
Diogo says it's fair and should be justified.
So the court case was split in two. So they tried I had the special asphyxiated unit. I don't know if you guys know Friendly Geordies, a YouTuber.
Yeah, he does. I'm not. I mean, he said he was coming to Perth a little while ago.
Yeah,
he's a comedian.
I thought asphyxiated was just a typo when you wrote that.
Yeah,
but there's an asphyxiated unit.
Yeah, mate.
Fuck, man. We need to get Mistress Sienna back on for that. Sounds like a dominatrix. The cops just come in and go, "Have you been a bad boy?"
I wish they came with whips and chains.
What's an asphyxiated unit?
So it's a counter-terrorism unit. So it was originally made for bikies years ago. And to get to that unit, there's supposed to be a lot of checks and, whatever other word comes after
Balances.
that. There we go. So there's supposed to be
checks and bribes.
That as well. And then it leads up. So this guy is truly a criminal, and this unit is allowed to be, put on him or her. And
or they.
or they, them, aliens. Yeah, and then for me, I don't have a criminal record, so for them to put
In
it on
Australia.
me, and put it on me and to put it on Geordie, it was just, it was
It's an abuse of power, isn't it? Really?
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
I mean, I don't know specifically the ins and outs of your situation, but what they did.
Unless
friendly,
you're extremely guilty and we don't know.
friendly Geordies, that whole situation, and he
Was
has
huge.
broadcasted that pretty heavily. What's going on there?
Well,
That's-
for our listeners, let's divulge because I don't really
Yeah.
know it, so some people might not know. So what happened there?
you.
Friendly Geordies one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
what
the
goes
Friendly Geordies one, John Barilaro was the Deputy Premier of New South Wales, and Gladys Berejiklian was the Premier back then.
Yeah.
And at the time, he kept making fun of John Barilaro, as you do.
That's how people pronounce me on stage when I used to be Del Borello.
Yeah.
Daniel Barilaro. Like that.
Well, this is going into what he was making fun of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he made fun of them, and he dressed up in a Luigi skirt.
Fucking
outfit.
dog cunt. I hate him. Yeah.
And he went to his event, and as it was a political event. He dressed up as Luigi and went there and made fun of the event and himself. And he essentially was saying that he's corrupt, and he had this whole campaign of bruz.
Bruz.
On John Barilaro. And inevitably, this asphyxiated unit came to his producer's house and arrested him, like, randomly.
Yeah.
And he made a big fuss of it, which was good of him. And long story short, Barilaro ended up getting done for corruption, and Gladys also
So
got
he was
done
right
for
the whole time.
corruption.
He was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So both premiers and the deputy premier got taken out under corruption. So
Buzz.
yeah,
Bruz.
Yeah.
Bruz.
So these guys came after you.
the asphyxiated unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the same exact unit broke into my studio, came in guns blazing. They're supposed to knock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shot
Are
the
they?
warrant.
Are they?
You know, I hope so. You know, but
Should we
yeah.
go fortify that front door, Delby?
And they came. They just they stormed in with guns. It was whatever you think of a SWAT team doing. That's exactly what they did. So my missus was near the kitchen area at the time. They put her on the ground with three guys with like rifles. A guy came into the studio with like pistols, saying, "Get on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground."
Were you recording? Because that would have been.
I was editing. I wish I was recording.
That would
That would have blown up.
Well,
I got the body cam footage, all of them, so through the court case. So I might release that and do a piece. I haven't done it because of the court case. So the home court case, actually I shouldn't talk too much about the home court case. That's still in November.
okay.
The day court case, we split it up into both. So the police wanted to put everything in one, but we found it best to split it into both. And we have the same lawyer, me and Jordan. So
Cool.
yeah, it
Pretty
was
surreal.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It
What led them
shows
to
the-
believe that you organised the protest?
Yeah, so that I don't know. That I think it's Channel 9. I got no way of knowing that.
Had you blown up already through podcasting or like through your channels?
I didn't think I had.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? I think it's just particular voices that weren't allowed to go anywhere. I gave them a voice. Maybe that was it. I
Probably
really
Dr. Robert
don't know.
Malone, probably. Liz.
Yeah, I think getting like guests like that
Was this
didn't really
before or
help.
after?
That was my first episode back.
That was your first episode back after the
Yeah.
ban.
Yeah.
So you've just been banned, and then you get Dr. Robert Malone, who just caused a fucking shitstorm, not just here, like around the world.
Yeah. And
For Rogan.
It was
Nearly
in-
got Rogan taken down, which is ridiculous to think.
insane. So yeah, he was after. But I think beforehand, I think all of these organisers, I was speaking to them, and
Were they on your platform going, guys,
Come down.
July 24, we're going to do something?
Is that what it was?
'Cause it
Like,
could
were they
be
doing
that.
no, I to this day, I really don't know why they said I organised it. I have no idea. It's one of those
Public
media
figure.
things.
Is it a public figure to show this is what happens when
Scapegoat.
you go against the government sort of thing, you know?
I think that could be it. Like it's insane. Even to the police, it's insane. Like not just the media, like the police on the day they said that I punched 2 police officers, that I punched a horse, which was another guy that punched a horse. I got nothing to do with horses, but and then
If anything, you're not punching, you're doing submissions.
exactly. I'm not a puncher.
Yeah.
You're doing a BJJ tournament after this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and all of that, when we got to court, they were like, this is absolutely ridiculous. They looked at all the footage. I had done none of what they said. So it was a complete lie from the get-go, which surprises me because throughout the podcast, I saw all of the shit happening in America, 2020 and leading up to 2021. And throughout the podcast, I've always been, supportive of police. And I've been like, they're necessary. America's like, we got to defund them. This was when defund the police was really big. So it was quite funny in the courtroom because I just clipped a bunch of times of me supporting the police, and I'm like, all right, so let's see what happens here. Let's see who's lying and who's like, because they try to paint me as a person that hates police. He's out here punching police. He's out here punching their animals. He's doing everything and. Yeah, it just wasn't the case.
Who's the main person that's going after you? Like somebody's obviously got a vendetta against you, or someone has a case that they think you have to answer.
Yeah.
Who is that person or people?
Murphy. His last name is Murphy in the detectives unit. He was the name across every document. I can't remember his first name, and I don't know if it's legal for me to say his first name.
Dan?
But is it also, is he just
Syndrome?
but also is he just a
Dan, not down. Dan Murphy. Dan syndrome is something I have.
Is that just the guy who's been given the job?
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Because if I play devil's advocate, he could be like, man, this guy, he's had these 6 guests on. They're all
and he's
looking to disrupt the government, or they're all trying to. He might be a full, wholehearted believer in whatever it was, vaccine, mandate, whatever the thing is. And in his mind, he's like, nah, these guys are doing disrupting,
And
what we're trying to do.
We were growing fairly quick at the time then. Because I was doing the podcast for I think since 2019, and then suddenly throughout that year, it just because it was supposed to be we had before when we started the podcast, we had this segment called Digital Streets where we bring up 5 news topics at the end of the podcast after just doing little riffs, and then we'll make fun of whatever was the headlines, or try to anyway.
Did you ever watch fake news?
That's basically what we did as well. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just over a whole episode.
Sick.
So that's good. Yeah, good theme.
Yeah. So then throughout, that was the basis of it, and then there was a guy called Smoking Joe McHale. He is a true conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
And he got plastered on the news for doing one of the first protests against what was happening.
Okay.
And the Gladys Berejiklian at the time, which was the state premier, made fun of him because someone said, I don't know, she was like, I've had a bad hair day. And he sort of looks like her too. Sort of,
No, I don't. He looks like what?
Yeah, he looks,
What, like a bad hair day?
I think she looks like him. That's a bit better.
Okay.
And then I was like, wait a minute, this guy's getting plastered. He got destroyed in Sydney News.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know this guy from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I started at Gracie Barra. He was at Gracie Barra. I know this guy to be a really good dude. And I was like, called him. I was like, do you want to, come on a podcast? At this stage, I don't have much viewers, but I'll put you on a platform and try and get your side of the story, and you put it wherever you want. Send it to your friends to send it out to, like, try and get your story across rather than just the mainstream media. And so he did, and after that I was like, oh, so who else is in this? Do you know that's would be a good guest?
Yeah.
And then he sent me this guy called Dale for Fight for What's Right, who runs now the Peacemakers. He runs
the ones who basically organise all the protests.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. So he was like, this guy. Dale was doing a protest where he was doing a bag of sand for these. What's the order when there's like 28 pedophiles, that's suppression order. There's a suppression order on these 28 pedophiles, and Dale was doing a sandbag for 28 days to bring awareness to that during this period.
Okay.
And this is the same suppression order that Aussie Cossack, there's this other guy over there he's in jail. He grew to like 200 K followers, and then they locked him up, Russian guy. For the same thing.
What, for suppressing pedophile? For what?
No, so this...
For speaking out against the suppression.
So there was an event where he came out, the last event, he came out and he said one of the names of the guy that had been charged. He'd been caught, but he hadn't been charged. It was like he was found guilty, but he hasn't been charged yet, and there's a suppression on his name. Yeah. So he said his name out loud, and if you do that, you go to jail. Yeah. So he's in jail right now.
Could be endangering someone else's life.
Yeah. Exactly.
Imagine if that guy was innocent, which he's probably not, but if he was.
And it also comes to, like, the victim themselves.
Yeah.
It's sort of like...
people know that you know.
It sort of it takes the victim down a mental spiral. Yeah. So
it's a pretty shitty move, to be honest, man.
It's fucked. It's fucked. So, Dale was doing a protest for that, and then he was like, this is a good guy to interview. And then I had him on, and then he, at the end of that interview, I was like, well, who else is around here? And then he sent me this Doris girl who's blown up as well.
Yep.
And then I had her on, more of the Magna Carta sovereign stuff, which I still don't get to this day. But
claiming that you're a sovereign state from Australia?
Mate, I don't understand. Australia's tried to claim that a few times from... I mean, Perth has tried to claim that a few times from Australia. It's like, we're out. Peace.
I think we're just... The whole claiming yourself as a sovereign state doesn't work. It's been proven. Like, it doesn't hold up. There's someone that... He's a prince up north of Perth. Can't remember the area. But he's claiming he's a sovereign state.
You're connected to royals. You're connected to royals here. What's going on?
He calls himself prince or king because he's declared that he's got a sovereign.
Oh, he's just declared it.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm a sovereign state.
He is.
Yeah.
Not his land.
His land and him.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll find his name.
Yeah, and then I had...
So legally it doesn't work?
No, it doesn't work at all.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I don't understand it at all. She came on and she tried to explain it all, and she's got a good grasp on the,
legal system, I guess, and how it works.
That side of the legal system, I'd say. And it just snowballed like that. And then I kept asking, who's the next guest? Who do you reckon I should speak to? And I kept reaching out. And that's how I ended up getting all of these people on the podcast.
Also, they're interested. Like, it starts to build a bias as well, because if you keep getting that same rabbit hole of guests.
Which is what I was saying before. We were getting down a rabbit hole of, like...
Yeah, it does.
It's all COVID against... Which we are against the COVID
Well, we've been
mandates.
proven right.
Yeah. But we just didn't want to keep blasting everyone with all that. But it's about time to get back into it, I guess.
After 2 years, man, it was so funny reading in mainstream. Like, have the last 2 years been a waste? Australia's now just in the same spot.
What fucking annoys me is this whole... Like, people are just going to forget that this ever happened.
Yeah.
But the people who...
It's fucked.
If we had done what we did now 2 years ago, which is what we were... saying
should have done,
would be in the exact same fucking position. Way earlier.
Yeah,
100%. And I felt I was going down that rabbit hole as well.
Do you know what the argument though people would say though? The reason we were able to do it is because we were vaccinated.
No, because Melbourne and Sydney.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'd get it, but that's what their argument would be. Well, the only reason we're like this is because we're vaccinated, so
Yeah.
that's the argument. And I get,
And there's no cause like the. So there's a this just came out on the news the other day. So babies.
So you can trust it.
I've never been against the news, but only when it suits me. And so they're saying that like babies are coming out now with immune issues, and they come out with influenza and COVID, and
What, from the womb?
from the womb. How random is that?
So-
Channel 7 News.
but
I mean,
But what I'm saying is,
things can get passed from parent to baby, but I'm not a biology specialist.
But what I'm saying is that we've had pandemics in the past, and that particular item has never happened in a pandemic. And then when you look to say what's new right now, there's no. It's like it's forbidden to link it to any vax or anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's just.
and this is
coincidence.
This is the issue that I have. So that we see that now that I think what was the article I sent you? Was it 1700% ish? Well, I'm just going to go
170 times
170 times the heart attacks in
athletes
in
in the last 2 years or
2
1
years compared to the year prior or something like that. Last year compared to the year prior, which is ridiculous.
Insane.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's vaccines. You could say, oh, well, COVID causes heart conditions as well. But the fact that it's not even
considered.
not considered, and considering heart conditions is a side effect of the vaccines, I think it lends almost like it makes you feel dubious.
It's non-scientific. It's unscientific. Why would you not look at a possible thing or just rule it out completely?
Yeah.
And say, no, it's not that. We're going to close our eyes
because
and we're just going to fucking... Justice is meant to be blind, not science.
Because actually, just using my own bro science right now, in 2020, when COVID was everywhere, there wasn't a 1,700%.
That's right.
But in 2021, when there was the vaccine was everywhere, there's a 1,700% increase in heart attacks. So maybe, actually,
Solved
we're
it.
done.
Solved it.
And there's the 5-8 take with a hard yarn spin.
There it is. It is the vaccines.
Yeah.
That's just my
But
bro science.
beyond bro science, the Pfizer put out the documents that there's sheets and sheets of like adverse reactions. Like they've done the study to it. So for people to, sit around and
It's not black
call
and
it
white.
forbidden to even link it up when the exact company that's administering it says that
When
that's
the people
the case.
who provide the data are the same people who make the money off and the profits from selling you the cure. I don't think. I think that's I don't think that is a conflict of interest. It's a fucking. It's ridiculous.
But that's common sense, man. Come on.
we
don't
don't
use common
deal
sense.
with common sense these
Not in
days.
2022 when abortions are now illegal
So eventually, obviously, this lead.
and guns are still legal.
Oh yeah. So
Actually, they've just increased gun ownership,
Well,
gun rights
actually-
in some states.
well, actually, let's go into that because we'll come back to Robert Malone
I
in a
found
second.
It's called Principality of Hutt River, by the way. That guy that thinks he's sovereign.
Because so now the guns are a big thing at the moment. Now I was trying to figure out whether you're for or against or what your go is by having a little look through. But one thing I did see, you had the guy from Canada on.
Yes.
And he spoke about
Weatherhead.
he spoke about the gun laws.
Yeah.
And you raised a point about how there's more guns in Australia in circulation since the banning of guns.
Yes.
Which was incredible to me.
Just last week, there's I think just me alone. I posted on the Telegram because obviously you get taken out.
Telegram. Yep.
Just gun violence of just because there's two arguments for it in Australia, especially that it's only underground and it's just gang members going against gang members, and it's but that's far from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I put it. There's a guy that I put on the Telegram. He came into a apartment building. But I don't know. It was a car park underground, and he just went in with a gun and started shooting at this car. And this car just tried to leave the place and just took out the gate. And it was just a random bloke that just had his gun and was just
in Australia.
in Australia, in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And Melbourne's had a lot of gun violence just in the last week. So is Sydney. So the argument is, how much has it changed? Like, since 1996, we have more guns. We have more criminals with guns, and the gun violence are the same. What I'd want to know
Statistically.
So what I'd want to know is how many mass murders was there before 1996? Because the argument is that there was a mass murder in 1996, and that's why we got to get rid of it. So how many were there? Like, and what was the situation? It's a tough one. The gun one is a tough one. Under the American Constitution, it's tyranny. That's why people have their guns. And another argument, not to cut you off, French, is more in America because they have the right to carry. How many lives have been saved by someone that's good with a gun, has seen something bad, and then has acted upon it and diffuse that situation?
So we don't see that stat.
No. So if that stat could be insanely large.
Because there's two arguments, obviously.
But if the gun wasn't there in the first place,
the gun
need the gun to protect from the other gun.
The gun's going to be there.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what
you want to believe and what I'd love to believe, the gun's going to be there. If I'm a bad person, I've got a gun.
I'd love that too. In a perfect world, zero guns would be the best. But in Australia, we have more guns than we did before. It's criminals that have it.
Yeah, it's definitely not as black and white as get rid of guns.
Yeah.
Because I don't think guns.
Do you think Aussies are just too lazy to do school shootings?
See, and there you go. So this is where we go. So I agree that we can't have this. We need background. I think, in my opinion, there has to be background checks. Legal licensing of guns should be fine.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe ways to look for. Hold on.
Sorry.
That's all good. All good. So what was I saying?
Licensing of
guns.
So regulations and checking background checks and stuff. I
just think stock standard things you'd think would come with a deadly weapon.
100%, which is I think that's completely fine. But just to get rid of all guns, you are going to result in all the criminals having guns and all the other people.
But at the same time, like, criminals with guns are going to use them for profit-related crime. Americans with guns are just young blokes that are fucking loners stuck in their world that have been bullied.
Yes.
Go shoot up a school.
So
it's a different. Yeah, we're using them differently in Australia.
And the point that,
because not everyone can get them.
The point that your guest made, and I see this point as well. So the point is, so the whole idea for America, we'll look at America. The whole idea for America is the reason they want to make sure they keep their guns is in case of a tyrannical government overtakes,
which they've already had.
Yeah, but the point
and they did fuck all. No one killed them.
The point he made was, it's not about the current one. It's about a potential future one that does decide to, like what happened with the Nazis.
So his point was, there's been a lot of gun control across a lot of countries, and after the gun control happens, there's been a lot of murdered citizens. And I listed off some countries and I listed off some numbers that are just, these are like, some countries millions of people, some countries hundreds of thousands of people, and they just get if you're against the government, you're dead. So I listed off
as it should be.
Thank you to our government overlords.
Thank you, China.
And it's he made a great point. He's like, that's right, but if we're gonna go down path, we can't just say like that's gonna happen. We got to understand what has happened, especially in Germany. So in Germany.
1920?
At 26 was when the gun control came in, and they essentially did a registry. Australia doesn't have a registry, which is quite okay. It's decent. John Howard could never put it in.
So it's just in Australia, it's just you need a background check. And
you have a background check,
and to use it.
Yeah, you have a license, but you don't have a federal database that shows every single gun ownership and
That's a bit
what they have.
strange.
So, and
But this is why.
this is why. So, in Germany, when they did that, they did a gun registry, and they got people, every single person that had the gun, what gun they had, when they purchased, everything about it. When the Nazi Party took over, and that party didn't do anything with that registry. They were fine. Like they didn't act upon anything. When the Nazi Party took over,
They were doing it for the right reasons.
for the right reasons. Yeah. Exactly it. And when the Nazi Party took over, they had this entire registry that showed them exactly where people were, what they had, what they lived, where they lived. So the Nazis just came in and just took them out of their houses, especially the Jews and blacks, and just, locked them up, took their guns away. A lot of times killed them.
So the guns don't help against the tyrannical government.
That's a great point too.
So
you know?
and I would. That's always my argument. Like, you can always go, right, well, we need our guns to defend ourselves against a tyrannical government or something along those lines. Okay, I get your thought process. That's a perfect example. But, mate, you're not getting past drones and fucking stuff.
They're not going to go, hey, get your guns ready. We're going to come and get you. But just in case.
To be fair, if the Vietnamese didn't have guns, Afghanis didn't have guns, they would not have been able to essentially defeat America, one of the largest armies in the world. So the Vietnamese, credit to them, that war was completely unjust, and they were able to defend themselves.
Yeah. Again, different times, but this is why it's not a black and white.
It's not at all like
discussion of like get rid of guns, but it's not. I'm probably more leaning towards some sort of, at least at the bare minimum, regulation, background checks, those sorts of things.
Whatever we're doing is working at the moment, man.
In Australia,
yeah.
Like, I mean,
there's still a lot of the people getting shot. I mean, again, that's if you believe.
So, is there a gun problem or is there a mental health problem?
There's definitely a mental health.
That's
problem.
what I believe.
Yeah.
I strongly believe there's a serious mental health problem. There's a serious big wave coming in, and we're going to be in a shitty situation.
It's funny because this is the one time stereotypes tend to ring true. School shooters, they all look the same and fit the exact same bill, man.
And what drug are they all on? Is it
freedom?
I want it. What was that?
Oh, I just laughed at the freedom.
Freedom.
I thought that was a good riff.
That was so good, eh?
I need
fair play.
Fentanyl?
Yeah, fentanyl.
Are they on fentanyl?
No.
That's what killed Lil Peep. That's 100% fake fentanyl. Well, the thing about making guns illegal, and especially in the case of school shootings, is even though there still will be criminals out there in possession of these weapons, making it on the black market just makes it more expensive, which cuts off the means of availability to high school students.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to go rob that bank, you better have a $100K deposit, US cash. You know what I mean? So instantly you're raising the ceiling of petty crime.
Yeah.
So that's the only... I'm not fully for taking someone's rights away, especially in the case of America, where these people are raised in primary school where they stand up, sing their national anthem, look at their friends in the eye and say, I'm going to protect you for freedom, and believe it.
Yeah.
The psychology and whatever with these people is completely different from our population. It's
Yeah, mate, we hate singing our national anthem. You see my school assemblies when I used to teach.
And that's where I do go, like, to just blanket statement say it's the guns that are a problem, which they are, and not say, hey, we've got a fucking mental health problem, we've got a prescription drug problem that we're not addressing, we've got a whole lot of other issues that we're just sweeping under the carpet and just saying it's the gun problem.
We're just masquerading a lot of shit.
Yes.
That's what's happening.
It's a good point that Jamal just made, because if the guns are more expensive, they're less accessible.
I don't know if that's a great point, Jamal, because on the black market, I could get a gun way cheaper than, allegedly, way cheaper than I could go buy one.
But
you know
also,
what I mean?
you need to know someone in the black market. If you're a nerd from,
in Australia,
I shouldn't say a nerd.
Well,
if you're an outcast.
In Australia, I think you need to have a farm that you can shoot on.
Yeah.
In Australia, this is interesting. In Australia, you can't have it for self-defense. That's a law.
Yeah, because it's unjust as well, because if someone's coming at you, attacking you, and you pull out a gun and shoot them, your means of defense in court, it's grossly, what's the word? It outweighs what they're coming at you
Yeah.
with.
No, I think in that's on the
invasion.
streets.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't definitely that will be fucked. But in home invasions, you can't do it either.
Yeah.
So if you got your license to carry and
Yeah.
you got to lock it up and everything like that. If your home is invaded with guys with weapons, you can't go to your gun safe, grab your gun.
That's
and
crazy. There was a
defend
guy that
yourself.
did that, an 80-year-old dude, and he shot the bloke that was trying to come into his house and he went to jail. And the guy was like, bashed his wife. It's insane. I reckon our criminals would do a better job of figuring out who they will and wouldn't sell a gun to. Like, not every criminal's a bad guy, man. Just because I am a bad guy doesn't mean I am a bad guy.
So and that's where I'm at. I think there needs to be regulation, not like a ban, just regulation, background checks, and something along those lines. Someone smarter than me can fucking come up with that exact details.
Yeah.
As well as addressing the fucking issues behind what is happening with everyone who's having a mass shooting. What is happening with I know it's hard to address a mental health problem nationally, but they have, 360, 370 million people?
Yeah.
We have 23, 25, something like
It'd be
that.
interesting to see if we extrapolate our numbers and we end up with a similar scenario.
We got the same sort of size country. We got we got less like the poverty rates over there. Even when you watch TV, man, the first thing you see is like lawyer ads and big pharma ads, and the big pharma ads are for prescription medicines that never result in good things. And most of them are antipsychotics that are on there for. So the antipsychotic is prescribed for the antidepressants, and the antidepressants is just fucking handed out like nothing. I'm not trying to blame just one thing, but it's a huge discussion that needs to be had. And regulation of guns is one part of it, but fuck, the mental health side of things is
so America, if you're listening, we just solved your problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is not something I've just come up with. This is something that every fucking smart person says.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you just call yourself smart?
I call myself smart. But I'm just...
I let it go.
I'm regurgitating other smart people's fucking shit. That's all I'm doing. They've pointed out. I guarantee Russell Brand's probably said something like that.
Yeah.
Well, Russell Brand has been... Your stuff's been used on Russell Brand's show.
Yeah, their team is in my Telegram. So they clipped
We're going to be careful now, because if Murphy's listening, he's going to join Telegram and trap you.
He is. Thing is, he can go on there. I don't believe I'm a criminal at all. But
that's exactly right. Yeah.
And he could think so, but at the end of the day, thank God for the courts, because I beat him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Telegram is just a platform that you can use to actually speak how you feel without being censored and taken down.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of something like that. Telegram, there's another one that's reasonably, Parler was taken down.
Parler was taken down. There's, I'm not, Getter. Getter's another one. It's like a Twitter.
Okay.
That's another one, but I'm
Also
not on
a DJ.
I think they tried to get Rogan on there. They, like, how Spotify did with, I think they tried to do the same thing with that. And I think he was pushing it for a bit, but I think he's given up because of he's found something dodgy in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's owned by a Chinese billionaire.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
so is Australia.
Well, fucking well, now Twitter's owned by
Elon Musk.
I like what you shared about Elon Musk yesterday.
Oh yeah,
with the Tesla.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you?
What he's done with his patents.
I don't
know. It
know.
was just a little clip I saw.
I'd like to think he's being
altruistic.
Yeah, just being truthful, and he's being genuine.
He seems. You don't think he is?
No, he's the Antichrist, bro.
Do you think?
For sure. This guy.
This just got damn. Wow. We're like just on the border of Earth. You just hit it to the stratosphere.
Why do you say that, Jamal?
Because it's all fake, man. His father owned mines. Like, he was never this go-getter sort of guy.
You are not your father.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what he did with crypto. pumping it. Like, he's currently being sued billions for what he did with Doge.
Yeah, but he's just a normal bloke. If I was to invest in Dogecoin, I'd be like, let's go Doge. I've written shit like that, and it never blew up.
I wouldn't say a normal bloke is someone that's born with the access of, like, South African gem mines.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's not
at a
his
young
fault.
age, he was... No, it's not his fault, and it doesn't mean that anyone in the same circumstance is inherently a bad person. But to build an entire platform and to sell a dream, I'm self-made, look at me, what I did, I slept in a bathroom and read 3 books, and now I'm fucking putting people on Mars, brother, look at me, do it. But you're not really like that. It's hard. And he fucked my crypto. He crippled me, man. He actually destroyed
That's
me.
the real reason. There's some resentment there. There's some deep
All I'm saying, if he gave me 100K cash, I'd forget it. Forget it all right now. That's all I'm saying.
There's one thing Elon Musk, it was, I think it was 2016 or something, around there. There was this big talk of space junk. Space junk was a massive thing, and it's like, oh, we got to clean up the hemisphere of Perth. we do need to do that as well. But yeah, and then he's like all about space junk, and then this guy literally the next year just shoots a car up into space, and it's like space junk.
Yeah. Have you heard Carl Pilkington talk about space junk?
No.
Fuck, it's funny. It's like, who cares? Why have we got rockets going up there? He's like, if you're going to go up there, bring some bags of rubbish. They're like, Ricky Gervais, what do you mean? He's like, well, bring some fucking trash with you. Like, there's nothing out there. Yeah. We've got too much down here. He's like, shoot it up with you. Oh, fuck, Carl's the best.
He's a genius. But didn't recently, so SpaceLink, is that his satellite system that he has up there? Didn't like 42 or 12 or something. I think one of the two, 42. We'll go 42. 42 satellites crashed through a solar flare, like destroying them, I think in February.
All right.
And that's
more space junk.
More space junk.
Space junk like on Earth. So you get space junk on space and space junk on Earth.
That was the one I was telling you about, Delby. It's the strongest flare that the human race has ever observed.
You should have seen some of the genes in the 70s.
Wasn't it just wasn't it wasn't directly pointed at the planet Earth. Otherwise we would have had a what's the I can't remember now, but there's an incident back in like 1916 that basically just shut down
World War One.
It just shut down all of our communications for a day or so.
Yeah, they had Helgood broadband in 1916.
all the everything electric.
So just the one light bulb in Edison's fucking.
I want to say
basement.
No, Tunguska is that's a meteorite exploding above the ground. But yeah, something along those lines, and it just fucked. But so we haven't had anything as big since then, and that's the biggest one since. And if it was pointed directly at the Earth, just everything would have just gone bang.
That's probably what happened before the pyramids, before we had that lost civilization.
I agree.
100%.
Like a solar flare.
We had a solar flare and had to start again. If we do have to start again, fuck, I'm so dead, bro. Like, I can't hunt. I can't eat. Like, I can't fight. I don't have a gun yet. I'm dead, man. Give me, what is it, 3 days without water? I'll be able to find water, but I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe in you.
Yeah, mate, it's all over.
We've already talked about this so many times, but we're such a soft generation of people that there's no way 90% of people would survive.
Yeah. I blame it on too much alcohol.
Mate, we need those Liver Kings around to inspire us.
I heard Liver King was a conspiracy theory, but 1 second. The thing Elon said, for people wondering what I posted.
It was quite nice.
He said that he wants Tesla to be the most successful electric car company to reduce pollution. And he was like, to prove it, all of the patents are open source. So anybody can make what they're making. And if they do a better job, then it's a good thing. He goes, yeah, my company will crash and die, but it means that somebody's doing a better job than we are, but no one is doing a better job than us at the moment. So we are the best at it.
Yeah.
But he's like, I've open sourced it, so if anyone wants to use it, they can. So if you can do a better job, it means that the planet's going to benefit. And he said at the end of the day, if my company goes under but someone else does it better.
Imagine if that's how the vaccinations worked. Maybe people wouldn't have had a pushback.
Well, Bill Gates owns the patent to the vaccinations. Did you know that? Did you actually? That's crazy. That's crazy. I just fact checked it just then to make sure. Like, proper. That's crazy. He owns the patents to save people's lives, and none of them work.
That's insane. The one, another thing that Elon's done, he...
Good or bad?
By the way, if I was... Because he owns 20% of Tesla.
Yeah.
The other 80% is like, mate, what are you doing as a CEO? Like, we need those patents. Let's make some money. But I definitely support that. He also said, I will sell all my Tesla shares. He tweeted it out to Red Cross. And he goes, I will sell all my... If you can solve world hunger on an open source platform showing where the money goes.
Yeah. They did it, didn't they?
They never took him up on it.
So they never showed him where the money goes.
I thought somebody did it.
Somebody?
Yeah.
Or Red Cross?
No.
Because this is why I don't fucking donate to Red Cross anymore. Yeah. And this is why I used to donate to 4 different charities. Oh,
the Salvos are super... Like, one dude is loaded. He's opposite Chad's...
Really?
Yeah, Chad Julbik's...
around the corner?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So shout out to Julbik's.
I was one of those guys.
If you need any plumbing, electricity.
I got suckered into the $39 a month.
Did you?
For like
walking past someone?
Yeah,
bro.
Like 4 different charities. So I had World Wildlife Foundation, Save the Children. I had the Red Cross, and I had one more.
Well, Save the Children fucked up in America recently.
So
actually, no, they succeeded.
I looked at all of them, and they were all cooked. Yeah. Like where the money was going. It was like 10% of your money was making an impact. The rest was going to admin and fucking...
Yeah. It's a mess. I donate to people these days. Like if I see like
at the traffic lights
when that too. When I came to Perth, it spun me out when I was walking down. You know where the main road in the city where there's the Macca's and Lord of the Fries and whatnot.
Yeah, Lord of the Lies, I call it.
Is it?
I didn't know it's a vegan restaurant, man.
What
is it?
Yeah.
Nah.
Let's go.
Lord of the Fries is vegan, man. I went there. I bought it. My mate's like, you have to eat it. I swear. And I'm like,
no way.
Yeah.
What was it?
Everything.
Yes.
All of Lord of the Fries.
Where is it? I'm going.
You're playing.
No, hey, Jamal, it's a vegan restaurant.
It is 100% vegan. It tripped me out too. And
you guys have eaten there, not known, and now you realise that
my mate's like, vegan. That's so good.
Fucking suck a dick, cunts.
I was annoyed, man. I was like, what is this? And then he's like, oh, it's like jackfruit or some shit. I'm like,
it's jackfruit.
I went back. I was drunk. I'm like, Lord of the Lies. What have you sold me?
Did it taste good?
It tasted like any other fast food restaurant, so no.
But like you couldn't tell
it was fine, yeah.
You couldn't tell it wasn't meat.
Well, after the first few bites, I was like, I can tell.
I reckon that's in your head.
Placebo.
You vegan?
Yeah. Oh, not vegan, vegetarian. But
vegetarian.
I didn't have a problem with it, but it's just that,
yeah.
I didn't get what I was being sold.
You got sold a lie.
Yeah. But at the front, there was this homeless guy, and there was a mum and a little girl walking past, and he just pulled out a nut bar and was like trying to give it like to them. He's like trying to sell it to them, like this is really healthy. And sure,
hang on a
you
second.
don't need to take the nut bar.
Yeah.
But the gesture, I appreciate it. So then I was like, it went over and I had $15 in my wallet. That's, I was like, that's a fair gesture. So I was like, kind.
Well, if you read that on the news, it would be homeless man tries to give his nuts to a woman and child. Or homeless man exposes nuts to a woman and child. So it depends, man. It's all interpretation. But we've got a pandemic or epidemic of homeless people now, more than ever, which is insane because unemployment is the lowest.
What is with that?
It's like Game of Thrones. They're moving further north, Hutton Street traffic lights, and they're at Carina.
They're up to Whitfords.
They're up to Whitfords?
Whitfords and...
Something's happening, man. Where the fuck's Jon Snow?
What is happening?
He lives in Alkimos.
They're gone north of the wall, mate.
Yeah.
Every single traffic light, both of them in coordination, one on one side, one on the other, holding the thing, and then they just walk up and down. And that's just a recent thing.
I don't think a lot of them are actually homeless. My dad's
That's what I was starting to think.
Two of them, and he's like, one of them works with us. He's a junkie. But I was like, well, fucking power to him, man. They're having publicly funded benders. I have to work for my money to have a bender. Like, you know, if they're going to the traffic lights and just making money and using it for drugs, good on them.
Yeah.
If it's fucking, it's their money. Like, do what you want with it.
Yeah.
And if you're
Yeah,
giving
they're
it to them,
Yeah.
fuck it. I was just doing some maths. I'm like, if you made $2 every 5 minutes at the lights, which is how often they stop, like 3 or 5 minutes, that's $60 an hour. That's that's good.
You'll get $2 each time, surely.
Surely.
Sometimes 5, sometimes 10.
Yeah, you'll get
sometimes
someone to
20.
give you like a 10. If I've got a $5 note, I always give them a $5 note.
Yeah.
I don't give anything anymore.
You know what I
never
do?
have
I
cash,
just look
but
straight ahead and just wait for the lights to change.
I
Now,
assess.
sometimes
I
give
assess the.
Yeah, I assess as well.
them.
Sometimes
I'm
I
like,
give coin.
is this a guy who's not homeless and just wanting like and
Is
just
this a guy investing in crypto?
yeah.
Jamal?
Oh, the Dogecoin. It makes sense.
You go from dodgy cunts to dodgy coin cunt.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck.
Usually I just give my money to guys in suits because I know they're going to buy Coke instead of me.
Well, there's so much. There is so. It seems like it's just happened, and no one's blinked an eye about it.
Yeah.
It's just in like about.
Well, you know why?
In about a
It's
month.
Ever since Basil Zemplis became Lord Mayor, they've moved out of the city and they've moved up. It has exactly corresponded.
It actually
with the same
does.
time as Baz.
'Cause I didn't know-
he was doing a thing about the homeless. Basil, it might be like Jamie, Lord Jamie from.
just kicked them all out.
Just kicked him out of King's Landing, and they're moving north of the wall.
They've got yeah.
Yeah, but
It's a madness. The more, it's like, the more
Do they have to look up?
doctor diagnosis there is,
Yeah.
the more, I don't know, sure, socioeconomic has a lot to do with it, but the more diagnosis of different mental healths and the more prescription seems like the more we're spiraling and the more each city just has a bunch
there's
of
not enough.
insane
There's
people
not enough
all
money
around.
invested in mental health.
How-
Full stop. That's
Yeah.
what me and Jamal were saying on the drive. We're like,
Oh nah. Yeah.
it's all the majority of homeless people, mental health, and then there's other things where guys have been completely taken to the cleaners.
It's
Yeah.
It's going to
from
be
a
even.
failed marriage.
It's going to be so much worse soon as well. I feel like,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
with hyperinflation. And do we stand vindicated with our chat with Corey? Like fucking months and months ago about hyperinflation just around the corner. It was, and let's blame Russia and Ukraine.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. It wasn't happening a year ago when I tweeted it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck that makes. And
Yeah.
I'm a dumb cunt.
yeah. Hang on, that's not what you said.
Yeah.
15 minutes ago.
I'm some fucking dumb idiot, and if I'm sitting there commenting on how bad inflation is and how like we've got the worst record numbers going around over a year ago now.
Yeah.
And then we've only been in Ukraine. Russia's only been in Ukraine for about 130 days.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
It's now page 41 news.
Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy how far back in the paper it's going
so
now.
easy to blame
madness.
the Russia situation on our inflation, which just is beyond me how fucking dumb people are that they... Do you not remember what was happening fucking 9, 10, 11, 12 months ago?
So my brother, he's super clued up with the stock market. We've had Chris on one of our episodes, Urban Ledger and Conspiracy one. But yeah, he was saying inflation's insane.
But this is
This is a year and a half ago.
What were they
He's like, it's going to be way more.
Yeah, what were they expecting when they printed billions of dollars of fiat currency to fund?
Yeah.
And hey, I took some of
Fund
that
the
money.
police?
I took some of that money.
Yeah.
Like I get what they did it for, but the reason they had to give us money is because of what they enforced.
Yeah.
So it still is their problem. I don't care if they want to say, well, we did it to help you. Well, you only had to help us because of what you did to us.
Yeah.
You could have just gone with it. Like, hey, if you're sick, stay home.
Yeah.
And we're going to have more mental health. So after the last 2 years, like people have so much debt that they really can't repay at all. And especially, with the interest and everything. Yeah, it's gonna spiral even. Like I said, I think there's a wave that's gonna come, and we're gonna be in a pretty weird situation.
2 years after every time we've hit double figures in regards to double digits in regards to inflation, which I think we're nearly there, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're pretty
Well,
close.
officially no, but unofficially.
Unofficially, yes,
Yeah.
but officially no. So we're close to double digits in percentage of inflation. the only way to combat that is to increase the interest rates
But the problem is they keep trying to protect us
to
from the
double
inevitable.
digits.
Really?
So they have to make the interest rate higher than the inflation rate.
They need to just bite the bullet and fucking do it. Like, stop trying to protect something that's inevitable.
So all these people who have fucking been buying up houses because the fucking housing market went through the roof recently, they're fucked.
They've changed the laws last month or 3 weeks ago. That in the New South Wales where there's no more stamp duty. So you don't do that upfront stamp duty.
Yeah.
It's called land tax now.
Yeah.
So every year you're going to get
have
tax.
they put that through or they proposed it? Because I heard
Put it
that on
through.
Talkback Radio because I'm 85 years old. But they're saying they're thinking of giving us the choice where you pay stamp duty or you can take the choice of every year you pay a land tax.
Yeah, so in New South Wales, they put it through.
Done.
So it means like if I own a house, I got to pay that land tax. If I sell that house to you,
Yeah.
you got to pay that land tax, and then you sell it on, got to pay that land tax
Yeah.
in perpetuity. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means the government has ownership
Well, this
of
is-
the land itself.
Like, this is where I always get worried because I always I've just pointed out a way where everyone's going to get fucked over, but I always feel like the government tries to. They try. I don't think they're evil, tyrannical.
Well, if you work for
government.
if you
They
grow
tr-
up wanting to be a politician, you do have a want
yeah.
to try and help your
So
society
they're
be better.
trying to fix the last administration, the last government's problems that they caused. But the last government was just fixing the last ones.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're
And
also
you can't
just
do
trying
it
to
in
make
3 or
their
4
government
years.
look good. So
Yeah.
they're just, this is going to work for us, not long term, but it's going to work for us now. So I always think it's going to be like that. So there'll be another thing. If the interest rates increase over 10% or something ridiculous, they're going
The
to,
government's going to get cop it for it.
or they'll come up with something else.
Yeah.
But then it's just, we're kicking a bucket down the road.
Is it a global situation where, for example, we import some things that we really don't need to import, that we could self-sustain a lot of things and just export what we need and import what
but
we
that's
don't
all.
need.
That's just capitalism, though.
Yeah, that adds into buying things here.
The stuff like we export like fuckloads of gas when we could use it ourselves. We export heaps of stuff that we could use ourselves, and we import stuff we could grow ourselves
Exactly.
or manufacture ourselves because it's economics.
Does
And
that add to it?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
Creates relationships.
It's also
with other
international
countries.
politics as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
But
So do you want to know what my... Okay, this is a
Yes.
This is a conspiracy. No, it's not a conspiracy theory. This is
well,
my...
leave the conspiracies
this
to
is
Mission
my-
Control podcast,
This-
who
yeah.
I'd never heard of.
You're on there tonight.
I'm on there tonight.
Oh, you can give him a message from
What
us.
happened?
Give
What?
him, give
Did
him
he
a
say
message.
something?
Yeah, just say, who are you? Just say, sorry, who?
Hey, I
Houston, we got a problem.
was it this? But I want to get back to that branch. But
Yeah.
what I saw,
That is exactly
I was-
right. They're an eyesore
I was
and an earsore.
And those are net
I was-
podcast, punk ass bitches.
I was looking at some Perth podcasts and that, and then I saw something on a podcast, and it says the title of the episode was
Bend the knee.
Daryl something, and opens up about his something about another
Annoyance.
beef or annoyance with another Perth podcast.
Yeah,
So is that? I haven't heard the episode. That's this.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
we're beefing with. We're not beefing. I use beefing quotation marks with.
He's veganing.
And
It's-
Inept, Squirrely is beefing with the chumming up is beefing with Inept. We're just having a bit of fun. But
Well, Mission Control. Is that what Mission Impossible? Who are they again?
Mission Control.
Chips? Mission Chips?
I love this.
I'm not sure. Fucking gone mission, I think. Like, so this bloke's come up and he's like, I've been podcasting since 2010 or some shit. And I'm like, well, fuck, bro, you're not doing a good job. I haven't even heard of you, cunt. I haven't even heard. Inept are getting fucking listeners from us. And I'm hearing about you from Inept. You got issues, Mission Control. Jesus. And Inept, you better fucking shut your hole, cunt. To quote Bruno.
Fucking, what does he say?
We give them a platform to come on here, and then they fucking backstab us with some fucking
swag on deck, bitch.
some Elon Musk Tesla fucking Mission Control fucking potty.
So what actually? What did he say? What's the situation?
No.
He has
said
met
that we are conspiracy light, which I'll pay. Whatever.
conspiracy light.
Yeah, like we don't go deep enough into our conspiracies. So here's a conspiracy. You're not even a real podcast. You're just claiming that you are. Fucking what?
Do you guys see them in the comedy scene of Perth?
No.
Mate,
No,
come on.
no.
I'm a professional comic. Of course I don't see him.
Shots
I'm a paid comedian.
fired. Shots fired, right? And I can't believe I'm in each podcast on the same day.
No, I'm I
Yeah,
actually agree with the mission. we don't go deep enough.
we'll go deep sometime.
Yeah, he's met Rogan. I did his podcast a little. I think it was last year.
Yeah.
And he's apparently he's been doing it for quite some time.
Yeah.
That's
Apparently.
what I heard.
So he started in the music scene or something from what he said on.
Yeah, I'd love to have
Yeah.
him on, to be honest, because I would like to go deep on some conspiracies.
Yeah.
So here is my fern. What is it? Fern leaf? No, olive branch.
Olive branch.
I am Italian, so here's my olive oil extension.
And I'll be the olive branch.
Yeah. Nice.
And I'll be the olive that asks him tonight.
You're gonna live here and tell him. Yeah, we'll get him on to discuss some conspiracy indeed. That'd be sick.
Conspiracy rap.
This is my conspiracy.
Fake beef is good. It sells, but so does working together.
So you were talking about why this is all happening. Why is inflation happening? Why are we so fucking
Yes.
dumb?
So why is the beef happening?
Yes.
It's because of shirts. It started because of shirts.
Shirts. Yeah, the shirts. But
Did it actually?
Yeah. So we had the Annette boys on,
And Squirrely wears our.
Squirrely wears our Hard Yarns shirt.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
when he gigs, and then they were like, "Why doesn't he wear ours?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, we can listen to the episode."
Yeah.
Just
All
right.
basically, yeah, I don't want to.
No,
I'll ask him about it tonight.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I'll see
Well, I
what's-
haven't
what's
actually
happening.
met.
Yeah, we don't know Mission Control.
Yeah.
He messaged us the other day. It was funny.
But definitely the way up, guys, is not to beef with each other.
Punch up.
Punch up.
Punch
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
You're doing well.
They are punching up.
We've just punched down, Delby.
Yeah.
Oh.
The way to get it is to work together, but it is fun with some fake beefs because if people don't know, they think it's real beef, and that's
Yeah.
That
Well,
gets
that's what-
people working.
that's
Yeah, like the first bit, he is going to get clipped, but
Yeah.
what you just said
Yeah.
won't.
yeah, exactly.
So,
Stagflation.
What's I Not and Oliver Tree?
Oliver Tree's a cool dude.
Yeah, they literally just did a full fake beef.
Nice.
And so Buddha knows.
Olive branch, olive tree.
Have you been seeing that fake beef?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's been. What's I Not was like, I paid $50,000 to film this fucking ad, and he didn't show up. Or this video clip, and he didn't show up, and I tried to play at this gig, blah blah blah, and it started to seem real, and I was like, I don't know, like it looks a little bit like bad acting. But it was, I could buy it enough. And then,
Like
and then
WWE.
the very last one where he walked in on Oliver Tree and Oliver, who are you? And like, oh, I used to have green hair. Oh yeah, okay, cool. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I messaged Buddha, did they just punk the world? It's like the whole world.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they did that
WWE.
with H3 podcast as well.
Yeah, okay.
Same Oliver Tree and H3, same. They have the same.
Yeah,
sort of
okay.
Beefy relationship type of thing.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should make a real beef.
Yeah.
Let's just.
Thinking,
Let's just
like-
go into their studio one day, film it, and just like beat
Yeah.
the shit out of it. I want.
Throw some Lord of the Fries at him.
Well, I'll just say, you go do it, Delby. I'll just stand here and film on the camera again.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be cool.
Beyond beef.
Even if we do Mission Control, we do a challenge, and whoever wins the challenge isn't allowed to talk about conspiracies for 2 months.
Yeah, I was going to say, can't ban us all the time. I like a conspiracy.
Or like 4 weeks. I don't know if Mission Control's main thing is conspiracies.
yeah.
We could do like a challenge, like a game of bowling or lawn bowls or darts, something that we're equally shit at.
Yep.
And whoever loses has to give up 4 weeks
I like
of
that.
conspiracies.
I like that.
I'll fly back for that. Let's make an event. Make an event of it. Like,
that's good.
proper.
So I guess, speaking of conspiracies, my conspiracy is that the whole reason everything's so stupid, everything is just like, why the fuck are we making the dumbest decisions? Why is this happening? Why are we... she's just lying down there.
I thought she disappeared.
No,
Oh my God, we've lost the daughter.
We've lost a child. Why do we keep doing things like this? in regards to inflation and the currency system. And my thoughts is that it's all orchestrated. We're not that fucking dumb. The people in charge aren't that dumb. It's all orchestrated to eventually completely crash everything under the guise of, we were just trying to help. We were in a pandemic. We were just doing what we thought was best. We've made a mistake and it's crashed. Now we have to all have a centralized, regulated currency under one world, new world order.
And that's, I'll back that to not be a conspiracy. Due to Wales just announced that the other day. They're going to do 1,600 a month as they literally said,
it's like
the conspiracy words for that. It's universal basic income.
Universal basic income.
Yeah.
So you're going to get...
How do Wales even do that?
They're trialling it.
They learnt English? No. The country Wales?
They're trialling it, which is
But
crazy.
Joe Rogan had on a lady the other day that said when they did it, it didn't work in America when they were getting the base payments, and then
they were getting 3,000 a month,
and people weren't showing up to work.
Well, that's
no
what's
one
happened.
could staff anything.
No, but that's what universal basic income means, that you don't work because everything is replaced by automation. So the more we go down the technological route, the more no jobs will occur. So what's the biggest thing about this is that it's the fourth industrial revolution. So we're in a stage of AI. So this will replace all the other industrial revolutions, has created jobs.
Yeah.
This is the only one that is replacing jobs.
Yeah.
So a lot of humans will be out of work and they don't have anything to do. So what their proposal is that these companies that's about to replace all of these employees, these companies, along with the government together, front universal basic income for the humans that just don't have any work, which is going to be a very, very large percentage.
We need more traffic lights. Fuck.
It's an interesting concept.
Can't wait for the AI that has to serve you piss.
Well, instantly you think, oh, fuck yeah, I'll get paid to do nothing. But then the supply chain and then the demand, which is what we've just seen in the States. I'm not against it because I'd love to be paid to do this and I get to be creative.
That's the thing. Creativity and creative people will excel in the future. And that's the only good thing.
I almost disagree. Hey, because
you think they'll just
die off.
I think the thing that forces you to be creative is working a job that you don't want. So let's say teaching. I really loved it, but I wanted to make myself extra money, and I wanted to be able to do something else instead of that. So it forced me into stand-up, rapping, celebrancy. If I'm getting paid a base rate to do fuck all, then I'm just going to do fuck all and maybe choose one other thing that I want to do.
Would you do this?
You do fuck all until you're bored of doing fuck all.
Yeah.
You're like sitting on the couch for so long until your natural urge to do whatever it is. Like maybe you want to build something, that's your natural urge. Maybe you want to surf, that's natural urge, skate, whatever it is. I've always been creative. I've always wanted to do something creative. So if I'm there doing nothing, I'll do something creative.
I wonder how long that would take. Because I feel like maybe after 6 months or a year, I'd start to be like, okay, I'm going to start watching Netflix and figure something out. Because when humans are given the easy option, they take it.
Do you know what I think you'd see? Summer, you'd see a lot of creativity. Winter, you'd see a lot of people Netflixing.
100%.
Yeah,
for sure.
I have to force myself in this time period, like a nice sunny day like today. I'm keen. Get out. Let's go do something.
Yeah.
If it's pissing with rain, I don't want to get out. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that fucking David Goggins takes a piss out of.
Yeah.
You're dependent on the weather. I'm out here fucking grinding. I'm grinding, motherfucker. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy who was like, nah, it's cold.
Yeah.
So I think weather would depend.
Or get into a job where you can't be replaced. Celebrancy, freestyle rap, comedy.
Podcast?
Yeah. I can't
soon
wait for
AI will have the conversations that we've always wanted to have.
They'll have Tupac AI holograms at people's weddings doing their love rap.
But when you were a kid, what did you want to do?
make movies, which is what
Make movies,
which is
yeah.
what I quit my job to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm actually probably a little off the path at the moment, to be fair.
Yeah. But you're still creating. Like me,
Yeah.
I loved music. When I was in Perth, there's a guy called Bit of Belief here, Divine.
Yeah, we've had Bitter, Bitter and Divine.
Yeah,
on.
so they're good friends of mine.
Yeah, we're good mates with Bitter, and
Oh.
we've had Bitter and Divine on.
Oh.
So yeah, good, small world.
But yeah, Brad is like one of my closest friends.
Cool.
And Aaron has helped my sister a lot when she strayed down the wrong path.
Yeah, because he does the youth care stuff, doesn't he?
So yeah, no, I would like, yeah, he's a solid bloke. Like I can't. Don't know how to repay him for that, and I don't know how to explain that to him. And maybe he'll.
Well, he listens, so there you go.
Yeah. So he'll see
He'll hear
this,
it.
and one day I'll figure out a way to, because I'm truly thankful for even slightest assistance that he assisted her with.
Assistant.
Yeah, there was a lot of assists, wasn't it?
Assisted with. I love
I
it.
had Divine on for one of my rap shows because I run rap shows, so that's so crazy. Yeah.
Mad.
I know.
He's another solid bloke. So I was rapping with them for ages, and that was sort of my inclination. But then I realized that it wasn't just music; it was just creativity itself that I enjoyed. So it's not that I feel like I've strayed away from music. It's just that I've found more of the creative niche of mine, and I'm still developing that, and I might develop into something else.
That's a great.
But that's how I look at it.
That's a great way to think of it, because I did think it was making movies, and I still do want to make movies, but not just make movies. I fucking love doing this. I'll do this for free forever. I love doing the podcast. I love making skits.
Same, yeah.
I like drawing. I like everything creative. I was in a band when I was younger. Yeah, the creative mindset is is something that I think those people will flourish under a universal basic income.
Yeah.
But you will have people take advantage of it. You will have mental health problems because people will drink. People will.
I think that's the wave that I'm talking about. Once we get into this automated stage, initially, like the initial stages of it is going to be one of the most. It'll be painted on TV and all of that it's brilliant, and it's as a lot of things are painted these days, it's really good for you when it's really not.
Yep.
So it'll be painted that way, that this is brilliant, this is great, but a lot of people will feel disenfranchised. They don't know what to do with their lives. They're going to spiral into depression. They're going to be fed a bunch of pills to constantly like suppress that. And those creative people, they will flourish, but the other ones, that's
They're going to shoot up schools.
yeah, exactly.
and that it does come full circle to that mental health thing. Like, do you think maybe that's a thing? They just feel like they're aimless.
Not with a gun.
Yeah. yeah. But maybe that's a part of it, like the feeling like they're.
Whoever the fuck you are,
Tell 'em.
I don't give a fuck if you feel aimless, cunt.
Yeah.
You don't go and shoot 26-year-olds,
But this is-
26-year-olds.
But this is where
and then kill yourself, you fucking loser.
So you remember that, and this is what I was saying before, and I'll have to figure out exactly what drug they're all on. It's like 99% of all school shootings
occur in a school?
No. They or mass shooters are on, and I can't remember what it was.
Xanax?
But let's say it's
Is it Xanax?
It might be. It was an antidepressant from
Manchurian
memory.
candidateness.
And then like I said, a huge side effect of antidepressants is psychotic breakouts. And so to have to get rid of the psychotic thoughts or psychotic breakouts, you have to have an antipsychotic. And then one of the biggest side effects for antipsychotics is, well, depression again, and also suicidal thoughts.
This is why they need to re-legalise abortion. Just to stop these people from.
Well, let's go down that path.
People from
Well,
breeding.
let's go down that path, because that's again not a black and white issue.
That is not a black and white issue, and
It's
people
every
think
race.
It's
people. I've been posting about this lately, and people think that I just
So you're not allowed to have an opinion on it because you don't have a uterus.
It's a madness. It's a madness. And this girl that she's in a freedom movement in Sydney, and she's always like messaged all nice things, like loves the account and everything like that. And then suddenly on this issue, she's just like, all I've done is just post about it. I haven't actually given a full opinion until the other night. And then she just completely was like, oh, I've lost all respect for you. I'm blocking you. And
People
all
like
of this.
that are just fucking idiots.
So, well, let's hear your opinion.
They like it until it doesn't suit them.
Yeah.
So your opinion is, are you pro-life or you pro-abortion or you like somewhere in between? Or?
See, that's just saying the words. It'll be need to break down more, right? I'm pro-life for the most part.
Yep. Okay.
I agreed with Argentina for a while. Argentina had their rules where if the mother was going to die or if it was a rape case, you could abort. Anything else, it was supported. So there was like birthing centers created, and which I agree with. I think there should be less abortion centers and more birthing centers to support women. What blows my mind about America?
So you're saying support women instead of so support women.
Support, not abort.
Yeah, so support.
That's the hashtag right there.
So supporting as in regards to not like I'm throwing my support behind you, as in literally let's provide some support systems in place. Okay.
Yeah, and like for example, in America, one of the cities when they were doing all of their protesting this week, they went to birthing centers and burnt them down.
Wow.
I'm like, how does that like?
Fuck.
How do you go and burn a place that's helping women? Like, it does not make sense to me.
So this is the stupidity and the fucking the rigidity in a lot of the people's ideas at the moment, and fucking hypocrisy. I've just used three words that are a bit, but anyway.
But people also don't understand the Roe v. Wade. Like, they don't understand that it's just that instead of federally they're fully supportive of abortions, all the overturning means that it goes back to the state. The same way that Australia, each state had different regulations for COVID. That's what happens in America.
Up to the state.
Each state.
So it's not banned.
It's not banned.
It's just they're not there. Okay.
Yeah. So literally,
It's just not an overarching rule.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and also, because I haven't looked into it enough. Is there
Mission Control have?
Is there a is there an area in which like they go, okay, you can abort, but only up until like 6 months, or is that part of the rule?
It's 20 weeks.
20 weeks.
20 weeks in WA. I don't know what it is in America.
It's all different.
So
24 weeks in New South Wales.
So after a certain point, you can't abort.
That's right. Because
yeah. And so is that what they've just done in America?
No.
What have they done in America?
They've overturned.
No, as in, like, was there rule? Did they have any rules in?
So now the states make their own rules. Yeah. So I think LA, like, it's a short, but there's other states that it's like 9 months you can abort then as well.
So you can abort at 9 months.
At 9 months, and it like
how do you feel?
That's called birth.
How do you feel about something like
That's
that?
how you abort it.
Like honestly, like, I have no real general opinion yet on this situation. I'm always pro-choice in whatever anyone wants to make their decisions.
I think whatever the science says is when the fetus becomes sentient. I feel like that up to that point.
Do we know when that
is? It's just
is?
a collection of cells.
Yeah.
However, I mean,
there's also the argument, like a lot of on that side, they're like a little organism in Mars is finding life, but then we don't see that as life.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
So if we were to find a piece of bacteria on
finding
Mars,
life,
we would be
and
like,
we
we
got to
found
treasure
life.
it as much as possible.
Yeah, I guess it's life, but it's not sentient or
the sentient
self-aware.
Yeah. Okay.
However, I mean, my opinion.
But all of these people, like,
it doesn't matter what I think
Because
it doesn't matter what any of us think. In the end of the day, like whatever we say here, and also this is like why I grabbed onto this topic as well is because I strongly believe males need to have an opinion on this topic. When they say
you're cancelled, bro.
when they say like males can't talk about it, it's a female issue. what that does is create more single mothers, deadbeat dads, more mental health, and it creates more abortions itself, because there's no, you're taking away the fabric of what creates society, the support of what creates society. You're disconnecting, the basis of a family, and
family
that creates
unit.
the most mental health and creates everything else that comes with it. So.
Is that because the idea of what a family is changing?
Yeah, but not every scenario is typical. Like you get women, like we know one that's had a kid without the dad, and they just want a family, and there's no dad necessary, where they've just got a sperm donor and they want to have a kid, so they want to have a kid.
Yeah.
However, I think that there's so many different aspects that come into it, that build into even our inflation, recession, abortion, everything. If, let's say, first of all, if you don't want to have a kid, use protection.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I put that meme up. You wore a mask for 2 years.
Yeah.
You can use a condom for 58 seconds.
Yeah. But
I guess it's the biggest issue is obviously the rate.
oh yeah,
Rape
Look,
is-
if you've been raped or are a victim of incest or you're risking your life, or it should be a given.
Yeah.
It should be like no chance are you gonna go through. I mean, why would you want a constant reminder? I mean, there's two again.
I mean,
there's
and this
two,
is
there's two
I was
schools of thought.
I was also going to say, like, is this a? That's also not a harsh judgment to put on a woman, but like, what if they want to keep it?
Yeah. I mean, it should completely be up
Still
to
part
them.
of them. Yeah.
Should be, in that case, it should be, I think, up to them, and they should be allowed to exercise their right.
Yes.
The flip side is when someone gets pregnant and they decide to keep it, and then the man is culpable for child support for the rest of his life or the rest of the kid's life, and it's not a joint decision. And you hear so many times, and again, I don't take this out of context, but there not so many times.
I'm going to clip it just to this.
I'll rephrase that. Where there's times where girls are looking to have a kid and be financially supported. Johnny, my housemate, he's at the pub, and they were like, "Oh, she wants." Literally, they go, "Oh, she just wants to have a kid. She's looking for a guy to have a kid with tonight." And it's like, fuck, man. If you get
That's intense.
yeah. But that's again, it's probably a small.
small.
It's probably a small thing. But anyway, if you decide to have a kid and then the other person doesn't want one, but now they're financially have to support, it should be a joint decision where you're going, look, I want it. Okay.
Oh, you're in
I do
regards
as well.
to
Now
like, you're regarding,
But that doesn't
like a man having a decision in what's going on.
Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, sure. If you're having a baby, it's ultimately it's up to the girl because she has to carry it, right? But I'm saying, like, if they decide to have a child and the guy doesn't want to have a child and you've accidentally fallen pregnant, let's say you've used a condom and it's broken, or you've put everything in place.
Oh, you think they shouldn't be financially?
They shouldn't have to be culpable for it. Because if
I
you've
get
done
what you're
everything,
saying now, okay.
if
Oh,
you've done
because
everything you're trying not to, and then
you're
they
getting-
have it, you shouldn't have to be. But it doesn't mean you should have to abort it. It just means that you shouldn't have to pay for somebody else's choice for the rest of your.
Yes.
'cause
Most
the
you-
choice
people
is
actually
on both
agree
sides.
with that.
Yeah.
Most
18
people
years.
agree with that. My mom's a hell hardcore feminist.
Yeah.
Like I grew up with all women, and she agrees with that completely.
Yeah. Well, if you are a feminist, you want power to the woman, right? You don't want to have to rely on a man to fucking support you.
True.
However, with the abortion thing, it's like, I don't know, whatever the stage is of sentience and feeling, then I feel like it turns into you shouldn't be aborting it.
I did see
You've got
Ben
a long
Shapiro
time.
put up that there was a lady like looked like it was about to pop.
Yeah.
And, I am not a human yet.
Yeah.
Written on her belly.
Not a human. I think.
Yeah.
It was.
That's
fucked.
interesting.
It was.
I feel
fucked.
like there's a point where
There's also a black market here, right? Of abortion. There's a mad black market, and there's like during these protests, you see these women saying, "Oh, I've had 34 abortions. I've had," like they're proud of it. It's initially,
you shouldn't be that dumb 34 times.
but they're actually like doing it. Which is a whole nother subsect of
Yeah.
society. So initially it was
That's just a successful serial killer.
yeah. When Bill, who's Hillary Clinton's husband?
Bill
Bill
Clinton.
Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
I said the first name.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
couldn't grab
Bill, what's Hillary Clinton?
That's the first time they've known Hillary before Bill. Nice.
So
Yeah.
he said, he goes, abortion should be rare and legal. And I agree with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
It should be rare and legal. The issue is that, like, some centers would do it like 400 times a day. And that is a ridiculous amount. That's just people wanting to have an abortion. Just like that girl that's going out and being like, I want to
Well,
go get a kid.
Well, saying
Some of them
Yeah,
was
but
like...
that's also, if you live in a town of 50 million, 400 people have sex a lot. Like,
No, but then how many centers are there?
yeah, well, that's a good question. I don't know.
So there's a lot of investment into those centers, and it goes back to my point. Birthing centers is, I think, it should be more than abortion centers, and abortion should be rare and legal.
I also think that if you're like, if you can't financially support a kid or bring them into the world where, like, it's going to be beneficial for that kid to come into the world and live their life, then it probably shouldn't be happening. And if you've taken every precaution and you have an accidental pregnancy, then it should be up to you to decide: am I fit? Am I going to be able to provide the right life for my child? And if you can't yet, and it's only 2 weeks or 3 weeks
but then again, like, it might be the
morning
opposite. You
after
might
pill.
not be ready. You
Yeah.
might not be in the right situation.
there's
but maybe that's your choice. Like, maybe this is going to be the thing that changes them or whatever. So again, the choice is the biggest.
There's also exactly. And there's also the argument where diamonds come from pressure. Anyone that's really successful that has come from nothing, they've come from really bad circumstances. So for me, for example, my mom had me when she was 16, right? I was born in Italva in there's one hospital there with 2 rooms, dirt poor. Then we moved to the favelas. She could have been like, I'm 16, I'm going to abort him. You know what I mean? It's like all of these people that...
do you think she should have?
Probably. all of these people that are not on the sort of center that's 100% for abortion and think like all these children shouldn't be, because this world is so screwed, they shouldn't bring them into it. Like, they all have a life.
Yeah.
They're not going to go and just kill themselves now and just abort themselves. They've all had the opportunity that come into life. And no matter what circumstances it is, that's why I'm pro-life. No matter what circumstances it is, that kid can change the world.
Yeah.
No matter where it comes from.
Yeah. With the right circumstance and the right fucking things have to go their way, because I think that's like one in a million.
No, but that's the thing.
But still,
it's I'm coming from a sense that it's like I did come from poverty, absolute poverty. So like I'm talking like she was a maid and I got given $5, 5 highs, and that we lived off that for the week.
Yeah.
And our lives completely changed from then, and I couldn't imagine it's a tough subject, but as I said, it should be really rare, and it should be really tough circumstances. Like if the mother's gonna die, if the mother's been raped, it's even tough on that end for me.
Fuck, man. I wouldn't want a constant reminder of what's happened, but then you look at the flip side, and it could be like, look at.
It could change their
something good
lives.
but still,
And again, this is
fuck,
why
man, it should be up to her.
This is why it should always be up to the person. Now,
we shouldn't tell people how they feel in that situation.
No, but we shouldn't encourage them to do it, and that's the biggest thing. The Roe v. Wade encouraged abortion, so now it's like it's going to be less encouraged. So it's going to be less people that is just going to go, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take the gamble and do it, and the kid can change their lives. A lot of the times, kids do change their lives. You don't really see a parent it's really rare for a parent to be like.
So are there any states that are going to just
It's 23
that are going to say no?
What, no abortion?
No abortion, yeah.
Oh, no, there's 23 or 26 that are immediately abortion's illegal.
That's-
Even rape, even incest, even at the cost of
That's
life.
what I mean. So
There was 3 or 4 states. I think Texas was one, Arkansas was one, and it's like even if it's rape, incest, or the mum or baby's going to die, no abortion.
So that's the
makes
thing.
no fucking sense.
It could also be like
so they're not taking.
you don't want to
into account
politicize.
circumstance.
You don't want to
Yeah.
politicize things, especially on this topic. But it will mean that in future, a lot of the progressive states will have a lot of abortions, and a lot of the conservative
Yeah.
states in America won't have a lot of
It's just gonna
abortions.
split it.
So in future, it's gonna flip America more back to
Yeah.
a conservative country.
like a civil war as well. Like
Yeah,
it's very divisive.
yeah.
I almost feel like it is again. It's been, it's almost just been orchestrated to create division. That's how I just how I feel. It's gut feel. It just feels like there was no need to even fuck around with anything. Just
I don't
but
think I've
Am I the only person that thinks the government should get out of my pants? Like, who gives a fuck, man? Have the abortion, don't have the abortion.
Yeah.
We're going into this new world order state where we think it's normal that the government can tell you what to do in the means of life.
yeah.
Like, we're going to hit a point where it's like China and they have the one-child policy. Like, if they can stop you from doing that, which is a
Yeah.
life-changing thing, regardless of your personal belief, it's to the person, it's to the situation, it's to who you are, what you can achieve, what you want to achieve. I just don't understand how someone or anyone can sit there and be like, I'm right 100% of the time, and we're going to make you have legal repercussions if you go against me in any side.
Yeah.
I don't
There we go.
understand.
He articulated it much better than I could.
So
I was about to
insightful.
say,
Thank you,
literally,
Jamal.
I haven't articulated my argument well at all, but that's pretty well thought out. It's fucking leave government out.
And this is what's happening
You
everywhere.
abort or don't abort, leave it up to the individual, just like they should have with the vaccines.
And it always,
But
there's such hysteria, but if you just like stop and look at it, it still is the woman's decision. Like if she lives in this state that absolutely has banned abortion, it's like fucking a little drive down the road and then get yourself
But if
aborted.
you're poor, but I mean, they'll find a way. But
Yeah, yeah,
also,
you're right, you're poor,
they
yeah.
make that illegal to do. Anybody that assists in aborting people from one state, like if you're from a state and you go out of state, they're putting laws in place to stop that as well.
That's fucked. I don't agree with that
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
It's all it always comes down to government overreach.
Yeah.
And you said that before the vaccines. Are people not seeing the fucking irony in the ones
That's so funny.
Like-
Yeah, that's
that people were saying right now you have bodily autonomy to make your own decisions about what you do with your body, but those same people were calling you a cunt for not fucking getting a vaccine or wearing a mask.
yeah.
Are you fucking serious? Did they not see how fucking dumb they are? Are they broken?
Mate.
That's where you're aligned to a side.
Yeah.
That's where you're aligned to a
Yeah.
left and a right.
Yeah.
That's where you are. If you're not somewhere in the middle who can see both sides, which I'd probably say we definitely and yourself lean right. We're probably on that right side, but we definitely try to
As in
see
the correct side.
it is the right side. We try to see the left side. We try to.
Yeah.
I try to remain as neutral as possible.
I think it's like we're in a center, and the left just went so far left that it sort of has pushed
Left
us
you
center,
aligned. Yeah, yeah,
center right a bit because
Yes.
it's gone so far that
Yeah,
way.
that's a very good
And
analogy.
it's
Really good.
And the like when you
The sides aren't even. So the left side might be 50 centimeters, but the right side is 20. So now the
Yeah.
center's actually...
Yeah.
gone a bit
Yeah,
right, and
yeah.
the thing is like even these it's because I'm like even these labels, they're pro-life, pro-choice.
It's not right.
I'm like there should be. When I say pro-life, I'm not 100% saying don't get abortions.
Yeah.
There's it's a
Yeah,
there should be other
They should use the same words for gun control.
Well, even
pro-life.
I used it when I asked you initially at the start of the question.
Yeah.
Are you pro-life? Are you pro-abortion? What are you?
And then I say, I'll respond with there should be more labels to it, but then it's like gender's gotten too many labels.
Maybe pro-autonomy is the right word. Pro-bodily autonomy.
I love it. I love in America how they say they're pro-life and then support the death penalty. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Or the NRA.
Oh, so good.
Mate.
oh mate,
I love last meals is always interesting to me. Like you're gonna kill the guy anyway, but you're gonna just give him a final brilliant meal that they desire.
I think they took that away.
Did they?
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, real?
Cunts were taking the piss.
It's because that guy ordered 60 kilograms of dirt.
No, there was did he? Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, man.
Heaps of guys just end up trolling it, and they got like insane amounts and just didn't eat it just because they could. So they took away from my last bro research. But I did want to quickly go on to the conspiracy I brought up before, the Liver King.
yeah.
Just lightly mission control. And I don't know how true it is or not, but it was,
I don't know anything about this Liver King.
you don't know who the Liver King is?
Oh, mate,
I'll show you a
you are
clip
gonna
real
go
quick.
down a rap. Oh, actually, you're
no.
gonna hate it because you're a vegetarian.
Oh, I'm fine though with meat. I'm not like against meat.
So Liver
Scotty's-
King is just a dude that eats raw liver,
Okay.
and he's jacked.
Get his reaction to a certain clip.
Yeah, but organ meat is the best meat you can have.
Yes.
All right, Liver King Jr.
Is that basically what he says? Organ
Yeah.
meat is the most
Yeah.
nutrient-dense meat you can have.
Yeah.
That's what you should be. You should be eating
Yeah,
liver,
I-
kidneys.
Exactly.
I ate Jacoba's placenta the moment. The moment it came out, I ate the placenta, man.
Jeez.
Did you eat the placenta?
No.
Fuck.
I wanted to. They didn't
Oh, you
let
gotta
me.
say,
I
you're
was like Tom Cruise over here.
Did you also?
professional life. He's like
All
smashing
in
your
the
baby's
pursuit of
placenta.
Scientology.
I was about to say, do you know what adrenochrome is?
Of course.
All right, show us this guy.
Fuck it, I don't know what's going on. The internet's lagging.
He-
That's what he looks like.
Scotty's probably taking it. Go off your Wi-Fi.
He's
Do you want to quickly explain our show?
yeah. So Liver King, he popped up I think last year and has amassed an insane following. He's all about primal living, and he's like, "What up, primals? Today's the day to get it. Eat your liver." And he
He's like
believes
David Goggins.
he believes liver is king, and
he only eats liver.
it's a meat. Actually, he's a carnivore.
carnivore?
So I'm a meat-based diet. So honey and everything else. I like, fruit, meat and fruit is the diet that I'm
I
on.
have seen this guy before.
Yeah, so he just eats raw shit. He's a big jacked. Guess what we're having?
Start off with some liver because say it with me, liver is king. Aside from that, we have our testicles because who needs vegetables?
Testicles.
When you got testicles. These testicles are attached to a whole
That's not the Liver King
roasted
That's him.
speaking.
crusted
Nah.
lamb. The soft crust is going to help keep those flavors in and make it extra soft as well. We
this is
of
a
course have
vegan's
some bone
nightmare.
marrow.
Fuck, he
and
is
accompanying
big.
this, we have some sashimi. We're going to have some bluefin tuna sashimi, some salmon sashimi, and of course we have some caramel.
Right, so I'll leave it at
there's
that.
not,
So, you know
there's
what's
not much
interesting?
wrong with what he's eating.
You see
Like,
the raw fish and you're like, yeah, that's good. And then you see the fucking sheep skull salted. You're like, fuck no.
so what,
got
what's
a-
happening with that sheep skull?
That's salted and you're going to eat it.
Like a broth.
Like the flesh around it is salted, so he's just going to
Oh my
nibble on it.
Have you seen the raw experiment?
Nah.
Right, this guy. We messaged back and forth a little bit. This is the most interesting guy. So this guy last year, he just decided to eat raw to see if the human body can do it.
Only raw. What? Everything.
He eats raw tongues.
Yeah, he hangs out at abortion clinics and eats raw.
He
No.
eats. You see, like as you said, raw fish.
Yeah.
Raw fish. He's
So,
like
like primals.
it seems okay, but what trips me out?
Some of the shit, surely he'll get sick.
So he hasn't gotten sick. That's what trips me out. And what this
It's a conspiracy. He's faking it.
the nuts thing is that he'll just grab a raw chicken
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and eat it.
a raw chicken breast.
A raw chicken.
Now,
breast.
first,
If it's a fresh raw chicken, I don't think that's the salmonella thing is only if it's been hot, cold, and room
Okay.
temperature, right?
okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the big thing. If
So
you
he would
eat
have
raw
had,
thing, you
surely
get-
he would have done a bit of research into what was going on there, I guess. But if he's not getting,
It's a leap. It's a massive leap. He puts an image of
Does
him
it
before
taste-
and after, and he just looks insanely healthier.
does it? Is it though? Like, is he? I guess. Does it taste good? It can't taste.
No, but I mean,
I reckon he lies. He's like, I now prefer this particular taste.
Well,
But
do you
I'm
think your
like,
palate can change
I
though?
don't know.
maybe.
Yeah,
Like I
that's
used
it.
to.
I've eaten raw
I used to-
chicken by accident.
I used to hate beer. I used to
What?
hate coffee.
I'll show you. I'll find the photo.
I used to hate.
Same.
I used to hate avocado.
Yeah.
I just trained myself to. I think. Actually, do you know what? I think the thing the thing. I think the rule is. I think it's like 11 times. You eat something 11 times, and your brain starts to change the way.
Well,
it's...
if you do something 8 times, it becomes a habit.
Okay.
That's why I stopped killing my cat after the first 8. Or women stop being pregnant after the first 8.
Professional comedian over there.
I love how they put it on what they ate, and then the team of personal trainers behind them recording the videos. Oh, what the fuck, man!
No, I've been killing pussy too.
Hello. The conspiracy with Liver King, though, is he was already jacked, and then these protein companies, or one of the companies that sells protein that he's associated with, needed somebody to look jacked to sell their product. So the marketing team created this Liver King that was going to be eating all raw shit, and then they just found him fit to purpose as opposed to the other way around where he'd always done it.
Yeah, but have you? Everyone who goes carnivore, like the carnivore diets, it genuine like, and I don't know what it's like in regards to your micronutrients and all that, and what you're getting out of it, but it's always lean and jacked, and people seem to find more energy.
I dated a vegan, and I went vegan for a bit.
Yep.
And
Hang on, is that
'cause
because you were eating vegan, or is that because you were
I think my
eating
palate
vegan food?
adapted to it.
If you're going down on her.
I went, and while I was doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I just felt really bad. Like I just, my body just didn't adapt to the diet. I believe in like eggs is really good for you. Honey is really good for you. And then I went into a carnivore diet, and mate, I felt that much better.
Just oil and salt as well.
Yeah, so I went a bit extreme the first time. Now it's like I add fruit to it, and and everything else, seasoning and everything. But the initial time, I just did salt.
Wow.
That's it. And just ate steaks. I didn't know how to do it because I needed to add organs in it as well. Luckily, I'm Brazilian. We love chicken heart. It's a big thing that we eat.
Yeah, wow.
I kept eating it, and I won my competition. When I was vegan and went to compete, I got absolutely destroyed. When
Because you're a white belt and you're versing black belts.
Yeah, that's
When you went carnivore, you're blue belt.
I guess
White belts.
I guess my only and definitely my argument for me as well, because I felt the same as soon as I went vegetarian. After about 6 months, my sprinting ability and like fast twitch and power was gone, like just none. So my argument that's not saying that vegan's bad or vegetarian's bad.
Yeah.
That's like, hey, I didn't do the research into what I needed to eat to replace what I was losing.
That's
from
you
the
are
meat.
what you eat.
Jamal.
And if you eat animals, you fast.
Yeah.
What's the life expectancy of India?
Well, you got a computer in front of you.
As a country,
I went. Yeah, that's the.
Not because he's Indian.
Yeah.
Jamal.
Pull that up, Jamal.
This is what I bit into.
What's that?
So that.
Oh, that's the chicken.
69 years,
Yeah.
baby.
69?
Yeah, life
Sorry.
expectancy.
So is that short to the rest of the population of the world?
United States is 78, China is 76.
And they're all vegan.
There you go.
But
So
also they're in
They're
extreme
vegetarians. I think. No.
So wait, sorry. The average age of death rate for the COVID was over the average age of death.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Carry on.
But yeah,
True.
60 Indians are
True.
vegans, majority
Vegetarian.
vegetarian. However, also a lot of them live in extreme poverty and there's no nutrients in the soil.
Yeah.
But
True.
there's more of them.
What
so
was
the average
with-
is good.
What was with that though?
So you ate.
So this is me. I went to my local IGA in I can. I don't know if we can zoom
Yeah,
in on that
yeah,
later.
we'll get it.
Went to my local IGA, and it was chicken schnitzel, and they were cooked, and I used to go over and grab them, and I bought that, and I bit into it, and I was like, man, fuck, this is like a bit chewy. I bit again, and I was like, oh, it's fucking me. And I bit a third time, and I walked out of the shot and then looked down, and it was like 1/2 centimetre cooked around the outside. The rest with the inside was pink. Ugh. And but I was perfectly fine, man. I got a 6-pack the next day. No, I was perfectly fine. I took it back, and they just went, oh, that's not right, and they replaced it. And I'm like thinking, if this was America, I'd be able to sue the fuck out of them. They didn't even give me my money back. They just gave me another chicken.
Speaking
I'll
of
be able to
suing,
sue and shoot the store up.
that just actually popped into my mind from what we talked about at the very start. Can you sue for defamation, considering you won?
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. I got to see after the case. So in Australia, the news can say whatever they want about you. And then you got to go into court, and once it's all settled, and it's also a tricky thing because they try and push a lot of plea deals, and if you don't take the plea deals, you essentially got to front like a fuckload of money to beat the case. So it's a tricky one because there are circumstances where, to minimize the case, I take going to a protest. So I've been charged for going to a protest, and all the other stuff I've beaten. So you can't sue the news until you've successfully won. Then you got to go back and give them the opportunity to retract. And then once they retract, you can't do anything.
Yeah, but what's a retract?
They put a tiny little thing at the bottom of a newspaper.
Yeah. So it's in Australia, the defamation is very hard. In America, it's a lot easier. And in America, it was like, for example, Johnny Depp, the Johnny Depp case.
Yeah.
He couldn't win in the UK. He lost. When he goes to America, he was able to sue the newspaper because it was Amber Heard that gave a testimony. So it's murky waters, but it's very hard in Australia to actually be able to successfully sue MSN.
Did you say that you got charged for going to a protest?
Yeah.
Is that illegal? The protest?
Apparently during the lockdowns it was. So that's
you're
a
supposed to
charge.
be-
But the Black Lives Matter ones weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they were during lockdowns.
Yeah. I went to those too. I was there.
But like, what's the difference? One is, like, I don't know. Do you look? Is it all?
One fits an agenda and one doesn't.
That's what I mean. Is it just suiting their narrative? Or
I heard they're doing an abortion protest as well called Sack Lives Matter.
Fuck me.
There we go.
I cracked myself up with that one.
I think we finish on that.
Do we want to abort that joke? Sack Lives Matter's not bad, eh? I think I can use that.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, quickly before
Even the boys can get involved in that.
last thing I wanted to touch on before we do finish. So we were talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp all over the news, and then Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh man, she's
So she's been found guilty, yeah?
20 years.
And they're appealing from what I read.
Here's
Probably.
a conspiracy. Big conspiracy. Mission Control is a massive
All right,
conspiracy.
you can talk about it with them later.
Yeah.
We'll just
They'll
do
go
one.
deep.
Let's
We'll
do
go
one sentence
We'll
on
just-
each.
we'll
Okay.
just-
One sentence each.
You explain it. We'll do one sentence each on it.
So,
It's not true.
yeah, it's not, first of all, yeah. So the Ghislaine Maxwell case, there's so many people that has been listed on that list, right?
Yeah.
I have.
Bill.
This is a shit
You know
conspiracy,
Hillary's husband?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy?
So normalization of pedophilia is an agenda to support that particular list of all of those high profiles. So when that gets normalized and this list gets exposed, it's not as bad and those people don't go to jail. That's a massive conspiracy. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But
Well,
I've heard
proven
about it.
true because all those powerful people have overturned abortion to get more victims.
Oh. Well, and
There's a
this-
conspiracy.
That's the fear.
More kids, more pedophilia,
More
they love
child
it.
trafficking.
Yeah.
It
That's true.
and I'm
See, it's such a complicated issue.
I'm
eh?
not going to say that's a conspiracy theory as well, but there will be more child trafficking if there's more kids that are not able to be aborted.
Washington D.C. is like the same child trafficking rate as like Haiti.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like
And
more kids go missing in Washington D.C. a year.
It's like 800,000 a year go missing
DC
in
stands
America
for
a year.
DC stands for Washington Disappearing Children.
Yeah.
So,
So
that's-
I think last time I checked, it was 800,000 a year go missing in America.
why are you looking up?
That is insane. That is insane.
Because I heard that stat and I was very thrown by it, and I
Yeah.
wanted to check it, and I was like, fuck. Now I didn't see how many more actually of those 800,000
Gives me
reappear
the
are
I
found,
feel gross. Even
but it's
talking
still
about it.
800,000 kids a year go missing.
I
It's
fucking
fucked.
I feel gross, man. That's like a gross thing to think about.
It's a lot in Australia as well.
Yeah.
I think it's no, I'm not going to try and remember. It's thousands of kids a year go missing.
Yeah. It's
It's the number one. Human trafficking is the number one trade on the planet Earth.
Yeah, they're moving further north, mate. Every single stop.
Oh, fuck. All right,
Martin
well,
Street.
I think we've touched on about 48 cancelable subjects today.
I should call this the cancellation episode.
Mate, we didn't even talk about fucking Dr. Robert Malone
Yes.
that you had
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Maybe we should,
Yeah.
because hence he's
We're doing it
Oh,
at
we
the
can
end, so
finish-
we're doing Post Malone.
Yes. So what was it like having him on? Because,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. We'll
probably-
finish on a lighter
Maybe-
note.
yeah,
than
yeah.
Explain who
human
he
trafficking.
is for people that don't listen to Joe.
Yeah, so Dr. Robert Malone, he is the credited inventor of mRNA vaccine technology. He was 28 at the time. There's all the documents that say that he came up with it. The mRNAs that's out right now are essentially clones of his creation and just developments of his creation. I was meant to have 40 minutes with him. We ended up just getting along really well due to both of us coming from a farm childhood. He lives in a farm, loves horses. He also loves Portugal. I don't know, throw that fact in there. But yeah, he was honestly an amazing guy. We spoke for a long time. He still deals with the CIA, and he still works heavily with the secret agencies of America.
Does he? Because if you knew that, then he's not doing a good job.
just because you work for the CIA doesn't mean it's a secret.
It's project based
Yeah, okay.
due to virology and his line of work. He owns a bunch of companies as well. So during the coronavirus, there's a bit at the end of the episode that we got on so well, and he was like, it was a little nugget that he said that during the CIA had one guy in China, in Wuhan, during the time of the coronavirus outbreak. They
Here they come now.
told him, we get surrounded.
Down.
So they told him that the outbreak was happening. So he knew ahead of time that the outbreak was happening. The only bit in the interview, so the interview isn't like any other Robert Malone interview that's out there. A lot of people are talking to him about blood cells and things. I wanted to know who this guy was, so I can actually understand if I can trust his word or not.
Yep.
So a lot of it is how he grew up and how he got to.
Are you the Sydney
being
version of
who
the
he
Hard
can
Yarns
be.
podcast? Yeah.
And he was a unique. He's definitely unique. His views on things is different from other virologists because he toured America. He did bricklaying jobs. He did all these weird hippie stuff until he found his wife, and then it sort of went more down the narrow path and into his passion. What was weird about the thing was at the end when I was like, okay, so to me, what I've researched and is the lab leak theory. And this is what got me taken out from YouTube. Eventually Facebook's banned me for 47 years.
Which is crazy because now a lab leak is basically widely accepted as...
Exactly. So it's super annoying. But yeah, he tried to say it was a conspiracy theory, but I know that he knew and he's changed his tune ever since. He tried to laugh it off, and I sort of try to corner him in the situation. And also another thing was the Nuremberg Code. When he talked about the Nuremberg Code, he said that the international virology community understands that respiratory viruses that stop armies from attacking is not included in the Biosecurity Act of the Nuremberg Code. But now he's peddling Nuremberg. So those two things, it was a bit like, I was a little iffy.
So you became a little suspect.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he seemed like he is a genuine guy. And
I'm lost. So
Is it the Nuremberg Code?
yeah, what's that? To not use biological warfare on people?
yes.
But
After the World War II.
Yeah. So,
After the gassing and
so
everything.
you're
and
saying
the Jews.
he's for it, but not for it?
No, so
And how
He's saying-
how did your research know the other thing you just said where you're like, I know that he...
so so I brought up this guy, Dr. Robert Redfield, who's part of the military, and he was the director of the CDC before Fauci. And Dr. Robert Redfield says that it's a lab leak, and him and Fauci have had this battle.
Yeah.
So I looked at all the papers and things that he brought out, and I was like, this seems like a credible theory. And he laughed at Robert Redfield when I brought up Robert Redfield, and he said, I'll tell you a story about Robert Redfield. When he lost his first government contract, which was a couple million, Robert Malone came in and swooped that contract and got the contract. So they've known each other for a very long time. So he tried to diminish the credibility of Robert Redfield in that podcast. And then when it came to the lab leak, he tried to push it as a conspiracy theory, and he laughed it off. Which then I sort of
So he's still is pushing the fact that it's just a natural occurrence.
because if you got a natural occurrence, there's no way to pinpoint an end to this, and that's what Fauci does. So if it comes from nature, there's no possible. Even if it comes a bat, it comes from a dog, it comes from a cat. It doesn't matter what it comes from. There's no end to it. It's like infinity, trying to figure out how the source and how to destroy it. And coronavirus has been around for forever.
Yeah.
Right. This type of coronavirus is different from usual coronavirus that you've seen in study books and history books. This is more a bioengineered virus.
Yeah, which has been said by a fair few people who have seen.
Loads of people have said that.
Yeah.
Credible people.
Disappeared Chinese scientist people.
Yes.
Yeah, did you see
yes.
that?
Yeah.
The first guy that warned everyone, and he was there at the lab.
It sounds like Stranger Things have just used this as their
Yeah.
like
That's based on it, true. Stranger Things is based on MK Ultra project.
MK Ultra
Yeah.
and Project Montauk.
I don't know about
think
the
the
second
Montauk
one.
chair.
I'm just saying, trying to trace the source, going back. I'm only up to season 3 now, starting season 4. I keep going back to the source that opens up. But yeah,
Well,
so
you'll find out. You'll find out how that.
I fucking cried like a little bitch, man, at Hopper's letter
Oh, mate,
when 11 was reading it.
mate.
But
You
I
wait
cried at Top Gun.
At
I
the-
thought that was a good movie.
at the very end of volume 1 of season 4, you'll find out how that
Yeah.
source opened.
yeah, nice.
But
But sorry, yeah. So he laughed it off Nuremberg. So that made
then-
him Nuremberg code. He's all about or not about?
Yeah, so the Nuremberg Code, he said the international community knows that respiratory. So if you attack a nation in biowarfare, then it's Nuremberg.
Yeah.
If armies get a respiratory virus,
then it's not.
and and they can't attack, that's not a thing. It's like you're.
So weakening
For example,
them at the source as opposed to
if the Nazi army got a respiratory virus and
they'd blame the Jews.
They probably would.
Yeah.
And they couldn't continue.
Yeah.
That's not part of Nuremberg. But if an army comes in and attacks a nation with
a chemical,
Agent
chemical,
Orange
then that's Nuremberg. So he said the international community knows that, and that's why there's no Nuremberg trial, and that's why this trial for this international trial that actually finally got a court number for it is not part of Nuremberg, and it doesn't come under Nuremberg.
So it won't be able to.
Well, it's because it doesn't actually target specifically troops either. It's everyone.
This is why the law is so fucking snaky and so fucking. You just get around wording and like, oh well, the letter of the law means this.
But also, like it could be coincidental.
Yeah, it is.
For all we know.
Yeah.
No, but he says they know. So he specifically says that it's this. He covered himself. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, he covered himself because he specifically said that they know what they're doing, but then he also said like the international community of virologists and agencies and
World
secret
Health
agencies,
organizations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says that they know that this is an actual thing of the Nuremberg, but then he goes, lab leak is a conspiracy theory. So it came from nature. So that's cover, which is, the level that he's playing at. I'm guessing that's fair play to him.
He reckons that he doesn't have a foot in any camp, right? He's just saying, I'm a retired farmer that wants to get people aware that there's side
definitely
effects.
not retired. He's definitely has CIA connections. He definitely works on project base. So just like Joe Rogan with the UFC, he's not employed by the UFC. He's a contractor. So that's the same thing with him. He's a contractor.
Allegedly, by the way, just in case
for
some reason we've
Joe just comes out swinging.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
not Joe. Just
Robert.
Yeah, just push Joe down the stairs. He's tiny.
But honestly, from the discussion that I have, like looking at his background from the podcast itself, he seems like a good guy. Seems like a good guy. But
I think people said that about Hitler as well. But hey, he seems like a pretty cool guy. When he used to be an artist.
We've had that conversation about him. Like you could pretend you could probably have a good conversation with him. But.
How come 47 years?
Oh yeah, in terms of economically, that guy did incredible work. He turned around that country. I think that's a factual thing. So I'm sure like having a conversation with the guy would be great. But he is a fucking evil.
Because he knew everyone that had guns and took him out.
Exactly.
The 47 years. How did they come up with that specific number?
So for my
for Facebook ban.
Oh, Facebook ban. I'll read you what they said. Nice. And you tell me...
And we'll close on this.
Yeah. You tell me if this makes any sense whatsoever, yeah?
Okay. The suspense.
So, and also, I prefer Facebook just take me off the platform instead of giving me this ridiculous ban that... Essentially, they think that I'm going to come back and the platform will still be there in 47 years.
That's how I feel about Sportsbet. I want to be unbanned, Sportsbet, if you're listening. Just because you offered me a promotion where you lost money, that's on you.
Yeah.
This is exactly their quote and what they sent me. You may have used Facebook in a way that our systems consider unusual. Even if you didn't mean to, you can post again in 17,457 days.
That's so non-specific. Wow.
And I put that in Google and it's 47 years.
Man, if Facebook looked at people's posts at between 3 and 6 a.m., that is considered unusual. And you may or not have meant it.
Do you know,
ladies?
Do you remember when we got, because we started getting a lot of reach on our Facebook stuff, we got a message from Facebook saying we had to give two-factor authentication or they would shut down our page.
I feel like that indicates...
I get that they were trying to be kind and trying to be privacy and security and all that, but...
I feel like that indicates that somebody... that's investigating you for the raids has contacted Facebook
Must.
and just said, "Hey, we want this."
Same as
platform
they
back."
did with YouTube.
Yeah.
The same
So-
people who own Facebook are the
Yeah.
same people who own the big pharma companies, are the same people who own the media.
Who I look up to and respect.
Yeah.
If you could just verify me on
What are-
Instagram,
what are
Daniel
those-
Delby Comedy.
What are the two companies? The real ones? BlackRock.
And no, not Alphabet. It's Alphabet's the Google one, yeah.
BlackRock, and then the main one.
And
The ones who did the music system, the music.
Vanguard.
Vanguard. So Vanguard Group.
Allegedly.
Not allegedly, definitely easily searchable that Vanguard
Says
and
Branchy. Daniel Delby is all about it. Daniel Delby Comedy.
Vanguard and BlackRock own. Oh, do you know what? Actually, it's Vanguard, because Vanguard own, like, I think it's a majority shares in BlackRock.
Wow.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
true.
got Van Rock and Blackguard.
So it's like Vanguard just own everything.
Yeah.
That owns everything.
BlackRock went with partnership with Elon Musk to buy Twitter.
Well, there you go.
And Vanguard is what they need more of to stop the 800,000 kids going missing in Washington.
All right.
Get a Vanguard.
All right. Have you got anything to plug? Any socials? What's your
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you for having me on, boys.
Thanks, mate.
Appreciate it.
You can't
and-
get you on YouTube. Can't get you on.
Yeah.
You're banned off YouTube.
Banned
Banned on
off
Facebook. So
Yeah.
Instagram 58take.
Yeah, so go on Instagram, the 58 Take, go on the bio there.
That's
and,
5 spelt 5 and number 8.
FIVE, the number 8. And
What does it
take.
mean, actually, 5'8"?
So 5'8" is it's an old Australian slang. It means like your brother.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're going to what the slang is, if you're gonna go rob a bank, your 5'8" is the one looking out for you.
Nice.
So
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the brother take. So, all right, we
Yeah.
have a convicted child trafficker here. He's going to take your brother. He's part of it. So the 5'8"
Allegedly.
take. Yeah.
Allegedly.
5'8"
And
take.
So go to the 58. You can go to the 58take.com and all the links on there, or just go to the 58 Take Instagram, and the bio is there. Got a new YouTube, but I don't really push it since they banned me. Facebook, I don't even mess around with Facebook anymore. Apart from Instagram and
Yeah.
Cool.
And Telegram. Perfect.
and come.
Just did.
Come. Make sure you come. That's it.
He's pro-life.
I'm pro-life.
I've got Teacher Comedy Night as the next one, Friday, July the 8th.
Cool.
And Patreon, we're looking at July 29th.
Yeah.
So come
Launching?
along. No. Just join Patreon anyway.
Yeah.
But Comedy Night. So the top 11 members will get a free ticket. Middle tier gets half price. And then the $5 you just get an invite.
Yep.
Killer.
And it'll be at West Perth Footy Club. We'll put some stuff out this week about that. Should be good.
Yeah. Teacher Comedy Night's on Friday, July the 8th. DanielDelby.com.
When's this going out?
Tonight.
Yeah, this will be out in an hour.
If you're in Sydney, come on Sunday to Sydney Aquatic Centre. I'm competing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Going to get the gold.
So I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say
He's a man. He's only
that's
eats
code
meat.
for protest.
And there's police coming up the door.
If I don't win, protest that shit.
Mate, our guests can't even find this place, so I'm sure the police.
Yeah.
This is like the safest place that we can have it.
And it's a brilliant spot. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's wicked.
I've got nothing to plug, but you know what? I'm going to use this opportunity to plug my business.
Yes.
B32
Do it.
Media. If you need any
Do
social media or
Oh.
videography, hit me up.
And our new sponsors, Lucky Duck Horse Racing
Oh,
Syndicate.
yes.
We've got our horse they're giving us. And
Is that next week? July 9th?
Yeah, we got to go there next week.
Yep.
I don't know when it's racing, but like
Wait, what?
Oh,
They
so
want
we
us-
got to go and it's not racing. We got an appearance.
we're just going to drink piss
Oh,
and have a
sick.
photo.
Cool.
So yeah,
An
and we're going to
appearance.
team up with the Gren Reapers, and if any listeners want to start jumping on a horse, we can have like a hard yarns, Gren Reapers, hard Reapers, Gren yarns.
An
hard-
up in
hard
joke.
barns.
An up in joke.
Animal activists, if
Drink.
you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll punch the horse in the head if it loses.
Perfect. I
Come
love
full
it. I
circle.
love it. I love it.
All right, sick. Cheers for coming on.
I appreciate you, boys. Cheers. Thank you.